If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on? What's going on?
Saturday.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the live broadcast, Don't Wait to Be Great. And I'm your host, Mr. Derek Forston, and this beautiful girl is
Shanya Shea Forston.
And we are live from the Forston Consultants studio. And thank you guys so much for being here. You guys have a lot of choices of where you could be, but you decided to be here, and we super appreciate that. So welcome to all of our newer people that may have no clue who we are. Well, we still get calls on airplane mode. Anyway, welcome to all the brand new people that have no clue who we are. Super excited that you guys are here. We're actually also streaming live on TikTok. So if you just happen to be on TikTok, make sure you come over to our live YouTube studio, which is at Forston Consultants. And in fact, if you came from TikTok, let us know, right? If you came from TikTok, let us know that you're here. And Derek, I came over from TikTok because I heard you running your big mouth. So again, we teach and show people how to start their own independent living facility. That's what this whole show is about, right? So if you came here to learn how to bake cookies, wrong channel. If you came here to learn how to fry chicken, wrong channel. If you came to learn how to change your oil on your car, wrong channel. But boy, if you love God and if you love people, and Shay, if they love real estate or trying to get into real estate, this is it. Because again, we show you guys how to take a regular residential environment, connect with social workers and case managers, and take people from homeless to hopeful. And we just so happen to call that independent living facilities. Exactly. And some people call it Shay co-living, shared living. In fact, May 28th, we're speaking somewhere where we're talking about all of that. But Shay, before we get too far, Shay, who are you and what the world do you do?
So my name is Shanya Shea Forston. I am the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that takes women from homeless to hopeful, utilizing the ILF model. So it's no different from what Derek does or how Derek implements his housing. It's just my structure is different. Instead of it being an LLC, I actually operate from a nonprofit 501c3. So when people donate to us, when people, partner with us, that's a tax write-off. We are a tax benefit to our partners.
Absolutely.
A tax benefit to our partners. Ain't that something? And Ronald, you ain't going to be at me in the chat today, okay? Ronald comes in with the gun swinging, Derek. He
Absolutely.
said, Shay, he said, I see you got the chat on the screen, because they get to see the chat now as it's flowing up the screen.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's something new, right?
That's something new that our system is.
Shay just discovered that like she was today years old when she found that.
Because it's new. It's in beta mode.
She found that
immediately pops up. Whatever's in beta for anything that we kind of utilize, I always opt us in so that we can test and trial stuff. But Ronald said that I need to have my pinky out today. For real, for real. So I'll try.
I got mine out, Ron. You just can't see it.
So let us know, how does the color, the lighting look? Let me know, because remember, we're kind of shifting things in this space. And I want you all to be able to play an active role in this with us on our YouTube channel. So if we need to brighten things up, if we need to get more lighting, let us know.
Now I'm a dark dude just anyway, y'all. So don't be so harsh on me. I'm dark just naturally. And again, my TikTok family, make sure you guys come over to Forston Consultants. But again, if you came from TikTok, let us know. I want to shout you guys out personally. And I also want to give a big shout out to anybody that came to the ILF 3-day challenge. And we're going to talk about that.
Can I tell
Because boy, if you missed that ILF 3-day challenge, you missed an opportunity of a lifetime. And it was absolutely great. In fact, shout me out in the chat if you were there. So, if you attended the 3-day challenge, which was May 20th, 21st, and 22nd, shout me out in the chat. I want to know.
All right, so everybody's saying we look good. I actually literally just logged into YouTube from my phone. So y'all will always see me looking down. I got multiple devices. Ronald, you already know your girl got tech savvy up in here. So thank y'all so much. The challenge was amazing.
Man, talk about it in the chat, y'all. If the challenge was terrible, let me know. But boy, if you enjoyed it, let the people know that missed it. Ever heard that whole FOMO thing, fear of missing out?
They missed it.
Let them know what they missed.
They missed it.
Because, man, y'all said some things in the chat, and a few of y'all said it out loud that almost made me and Shay cry in terms of what y'all said and what y'all thought of that class. And again, I'm super proud of it because we made it so affordable. Because remember what I told y'all, I'm putting everything I got this year and the rest of my life into that dash. I was born in 1981, November 16. I don't know when I'll pass away, but right now there's a dash next to that date, y'all, and I'm putting everything I got into that dash. Does that make sense, everybody? Absolutely. Also, give me a microphone check. Shay did some readjusting to my microphone, and I just want to make sure that you guys can hear my big mouth loud and clear. Back on you, Miss Shay.
Ronald said, I see about 3 laptops on your lap. That's exactly how it is, bro.
And y'all know she made me get a brand new iPad. And y'all, I'll be honest. I told my TikTok folks earlier, I said that I'll be honest, on a scale of 1 to 10 of likability, I'm at about a 3. So the way that I am, guys, I have to learn something first. And I'm not very techie. But the goal is to get my likability to a 9 or a 10. And Shay tell y'all, boy, once I get it, game over.
So let me tell you what I'm going to do to force him to like this iPad. We're leaving to go and go and speak at this event. He's not allowed to take his laptop. I'm not allowing Derek to take his laptop. He's gonna have to work solely from the iPad.
She's gonna take the training wheels from me, y'all.
I'm taking them.
Somebody type in the chat, boy, she taking the training wheels from my brother.
No training wheels. All gas, no brakes. But listen, I want to talk about something because we said that we were not going to do another ILF challenge. That was our key. We were 10 toes down on that. But I have to. I'm
Shay's
going to
making me do another one, y'all.
I am going to make Derek do another one. The reason why I want to do an additional ILF challenge is so that we can teach our ILF family something in the process as well, right? About the reutilization of content. So we're going to have that conversation in our next meetup in the ILF family talk chat. Because I want to talk to y'all about that. I think it's super important that you all know how to reutilize or reuse your content. So that way you're not always having to make new content, right? For those of you that we train as business consultants, we want you to get in the habit of being like us. Everything that we utilize, it's repurposed for something. And, we're going to have to redo that. I think the biggest thing that I took away from that is I took us out of the studio setting and put us back in the desk setting, and I didn't like it. So we're going to rearrange that whole situation. So whoever joined the first ever ILF challenge, you were blessed.
And they're commenting now in the chat saying how much they enjoyed it. And some folks are mad that they missed it. So again, I want to do a quick intro because I never want to take for granted that people just know who we are, and I'm giving it back to Shay. If you just so happen to find us, God has answered your prayer. We are your next family now because we want to show you guys how we take people from homeless to hopeful, and our coaching works in all 50 states. What we do, which is called independent living facilities, guys, you don't have to own the property. But if you do own the property, God bless you. Like my family here from Claremont, we're in Orlando, Florida. So you are very close to us in proximity, right? Yeah. So again, we believe in taking a single family residence and connecting with social workers and case managers. And y'all, that's all we talked about on those 3 days. How do you get the house and how do you feel it full of great people? So again, can you imagine renting or leasing a property that you don't even own and being able to make 6 figures a year and leave your job? So there's a statistic that's being shown now about us that when people meet us, there's an opportunity to walk off your job in 3 to 6 months. So put in the chat right now if you would desire, or that sounds good to you, that from today you would have the ability to walk off your job and resign, not quit. Shay don't believe in quitting nothing. So we're going to resign, right, from that job. How many of y'all, by typing in the chat the word me, if you would love to leave your job 3 to 6 months from today to do what we call, Shay, something that God has truly called you to do, which is house the homeless, the needy, the displaced, the widow. And God was so genius, y'all, he allowed us to involve real estate in it, which also brings that financial breakthrough for your family. So that's why we call this a ministry. So if you love God, you love people, and you love real estate, this is the absolute cheat code to it. And they're called independent living facilities. But the concept is shared living or co-housing. That's just for anybody that's new. That's my intro. I'm going to give it back to Shay because I still want to talk about that challenge, who missed it, how great it was. I want to give a big shout out to our speakers. Guys, I'll admit, I speak all over the place and I do a lot of classes and master classes, but this was the first time I did something of this magnitude in terms of a challenge. So I want to give a big shout out to Angela Brooks, Katara Johnson, and Tiffany Walker. That were 3 speakers. Now, if I had my bum, I'd be doing that right now. So, but I want to give a big shout out to, again, Angela Brooks, who spoke on day 1 of that challenge. Katara Johnson, who I think is here this morning, who spoke on day 2. And also a big shout out to Tiffany Walker and her family, who spoke on day 3. And again, if you were at that challenge, just put in the chat how you enjoyed their segment of it. Y'all hear me running my big mouth all the time. But it's something different when you hear it from people, Shay, that who we've taught this to. It's something different about that.
So
go ahead, Shay.
The 3-day challenge was a blessing. I think everybody, I want those that attended, what were some of the key takeaways that you were able to walk away with from that challenge? Put it in the chat. I'm going to put them on the screen because I want people to know the quality of content, right? This wasn't just something to sell.
And I made it so affordable. It was crazy.
Right. To really educate you on the ILF model, right? To give you insight to how you can do this effectively, make a difference and an impact in your community. Just put in the chat what you were able to walk away with. What were some of your key takeaways if you did attend the ILF challenge?
One gentleman said at the end of that challenge, he says, Derek, man, if I buy nothing, he said, man, you gave me everything I needed in all 3 days of this, the verbiage, the know-how, the tools, and he still purchased the actual one-on-one coaching.
He purchased it.
Like he said, man, I'm just purchasing this, bro, because like I believe in it so much.
Yeah.
Because what you gave us in these 3 days, Derek, I paid thousands of dollars for other stuff that didn't even equate to this thing. That was $147. That meant a lot to us, right? So
it kind of tore me up a little bit at the end to where people know I had nothing to say. I was on mute. I was completely muted. But such an honor, like to be able to share our walk, what we do, why did we take out the time? Why did we take 18 months, Derek, out of our lives to trademark independent living facility? What is to come from the independent living facility model? Where are we going? Like all of that stuff is going to be topics of conversation with our ILF family as we continue to grow, develop, build things bigger and better. I tell y'all all the time, it's always about building bigger, better, and stronger. And making this housing program, this model, something that is recognized all over.
Yeah.
You know, we've got trailblazers in there. I call y'all trailblazers. Those of you that have stepped out in faith and started this in cities that have no clue of what this is and how you are knocking it out the park, like how you have other organizations now leaning on your ILF model, your ILF housing to take people from homeless to hopeful. So I'm super excited about all things ILF, right? This challenge was amazing.
Absolutely. And I vowed not to ever do it again, but because Shay wants us to do it again, so that also, I'll just be honest, that we can almost put this thing on repeat, right? So everybody that heard me say that I'll never do this again, you got an opportunity. And again, for my TikTok family, I see a lot of you guys are still on TikTok. Come over to the YouTube channel at Forston Consultants. So it's my last name, Consultants. And my phone is really far away from me, TikTok family, so I can't reach it to type it. So if you're on TikTok and if you love God, love people, and love real estate, make sure you come to Forston Consultants on YouTube and you shout me out when you get here so that I'll know you made it from the TikTok channel. Because right now, all you see is me. And I want you to see our entire studio. And usually, I'll admit, man, we usually show slides and pictures and all of that stuff. Yeah. But that's also during the week, and my YouTube channel is full of that. So and I already told you guys, I love this studio so much. Y'all gonna see a lot of this lately, right? Y'all know what these beds and bathrooms look like. Yeah. And most of y'all know my story. And in case if you're new to me and you don't, it is this simple. God allowed me to see a lady, y'all, making 41 grand a month, housing people in rats and roaches. And because I knew y'all wasn't going to believe me, I took pictures of it. So all of my YouTube channel, I got over 815 videos just on the live button. So when you go to my YouTube channel at Forston Consultants, if you click that button that says live, guys, there's over 800 videos of content that's 2 and 3 hours long. That's not counting the shorts and the videos of none of that. So there's not a question in your mind that you can think of that we don't have an answer to. And I keep saying it, but it's true. If you love God, love people, and you've been trying to get into real estate, these are not group homes. These are not ILFs. These are not IDDs. These are none of those things that require a license. And again, really slowly, guys, I barely graduated high school. This lady right here tricked me to go to college.
Sure did.
Through the grace of God, I finished it. But watch this. That's what showed me the vision for this thing that we do today, that now we coach it in 39 states. God allowed me to see a lady, y'all, living my dream. Have y'all ever seen somebody living your dream but doing it the wrong way? Put that in the chat. Yeah. Because I saw a lady making $41,000 a month doing this. And y'all, she was housing people in rats and roaches. And the only reason why I knew it, because 7 years ago today, I took a Saturday just like today, and I went for myself to go and see. Because she was honest with me. She says, Derek, I'll never teach you how to do this, bro. You keep sending me these people. And one day the light bulb came on, y'all, like, ding, Derek, what are you doing, bro? You the social worker, but you need to be on the other side of that fence now. And y'all, to make a long story short, when I walked in that place and saw the roaches and the mice running in and out of the cabinets and the beds on the floor, I took pictures of it. I took videos because I knew one day I was going to tell this story. I didn't know it was going to take 8 years. But the Anderson family, when I saw that, I said, oh, we got to change the way homeless people are being viewed, and we got to change the way they live it. Because what I also didn't know, that these same people get a monthly income that's guaranteed. Lord have mercy. How many of y'all have ever heard of Section 8? How many of you ever heard of military pay? All that's guaranteed, right? That's exactly the game that we're in. So again, and not because Derek thought this was some great idea, guys, the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us. It also says that when you do unto the least of thee, God said, it's like you're doing it unto me. So I like to tell people now, and this is my new joke, me and your pastor are no different. Me and your bishop, we are no different. You can think about it how you want to, but me and your pastor, we're both in purpose. I hope he in purpose. We're both doing God's will, and we're serving our community.
Exactly.
Show me another business where you can show the love of God, get involved in real estate, make a bunch of money doing it. But see, because that's the part I'm not afraid to say. Some of y'all are afraid to say that part. Guys, I want to make a bunch of money. I want to be the biggest tither and giver at my church. I want to be the biggest giver in my community. I want to be able to help my family and other people. And when you got a mission like that, the way it ain't all about you, God gonna say, ooh, I'm gonna bless you, because see, you ain't big-headed. It ain't all about you. And I truly believe that's the cheat code to my whole life, y'all. Every business we have serves God, it serves people, and it allows us also to benefit from it and be able to feed my family. How many of y'all desire to feed your family? Because somebody thinking I'm being selfish right now. But listen to the thing we live by. Please, God, help people, be respected by the community, and make enough money to feed your family and build the kingdom of God. Can 5 of y'all put in the chat right now, Derek, bro? I can get down with that, bro. You said please God first, Derek, so I'm cool with that. You also said help people. That's biblical. Derek, you also said that you want my community to respect me while I'm doing it. Yes, I do. Years ago, y'all, I was a nobody in my community. Now we're so respected, and not because who I am. Somebody gonna miss this. It's because of Second Chance Housing and the Angela Denise Foundation.
Correct.
It's this housing program that is changing lives in my city. And lucky for y'all, ain't no crab in the bucket, and I don't hide it.
Yeah.
It ain't a question in your brain you can think of that ain't on my YouTube channel. I just did a challenge of 3 days of me coaching for 2 to 3 hours for $147. That was stupid crazy, but I wanted to be a blessing. And congratulations to everybody that got it, Shay.
Yeah.
Jump in there, babe.
So I love what you said.
See, I get excited, y'all.
I think what ends up happening is again, people don't realize the value of information, right? And I think when you sit in our YouTube room, on our YouTube channel and all of that stuff, you hear this information. And some people are afraid to ask questions. Some people want more in-depth understanding so that they can too, take off running. So this is the sole purpose of the whole 3-day challenge. And again, doing it again, it's going to look a little different. It's going to be a lot different in regards to the interactions. It's going to be great. Don't get me wrong. There will also be those Q&A sessions. We're going to do the Q&A sessions and have all of that stuff done and make sure that you all get your questions answered, but it's going to look different, right? We want to be able to keep the aesthetic, keep the appeal, and also continue to give the great information. Now, okay, so everybody started talking about their takeaways, Derek, but I want to first start. I'm going to be a little selfish, y'all. I want to give y'all my takeaway.
Oh, wow. Shay going to give her takeaways first.
My first one.
Don't be so hard on me, Shay.
No, I'm not. So it's not you. So my first takeaway was this. You cannot script a real life situation where someone that is, early in our coaching was able to share a somewhat of a catastrophic situation and hear live coaching.
Yeah.
During a challenge. I love that.
Yeah, people got to hear, Shay, what I call not YouTube talk. So if you've never experienced my one-on-one coaching, if you've never experienced our master classes, if you just find me on YouTube and Instagram and you think Shay and I are good there, you have no clue what that one-on-one stuff is like, or these private events like what Shay is speaking about. Back on you, Shay.
So what was a true blessing for me in the challenge again was that opportunity where one of our sisters, somebody that we're newly coaching, so they haven't been around for like 6 months. Powerful thing is she's moved at the speed of instruction. She's doing the work. She's out, like, so far you've had to modify her coaching because everybody's coaching is done. It's created around where they're at.
It's customized to you.
Yeah, it's customized to where they're at in the process, what they're doing, where they're going, how they're operating, if they have a house, if they don't. So the powerful thing about it is this young lady was outpacing you for a moment. So where we had to kind of say, okay, we've got to turn the gears. The way we organized her coaching, we've got to change it because she's on it. Like she's just moving at the speed of instruction, like no jokes. And so much so that she did an assessment with you live where Derek partnered with her on the phone, did that assessment, had the call with the resident. The resident was a great fit until the day the person was supposed to move in. It went a whole completely different
It all fell apart, actually. Yeah. And it's a part of it.
Right.
It happens.
The powerful part about that is this happened during the night or that day of our live event. And she was able to say, hey, this is my situation. This is what I'm going through. This is what's happening. And I'm actually going to post it. This is what's happening. What should I do? Not only did she have her coaches, she had Tiffany.
She had the other community around her.
She had the other seasoned
other
ILF owners and
that's
operators
right there,
to speak into the situation as well. So it was powerful because it shows how much we all kind of grow and how we all think alike. Everybody's response to her situation kind of just did this.
Yeah. And one lady even emailed and said, was like, wow, Derek, like I've heard you coach, bro, but the way you gave her instruction and you said, well, this is what I will do. She said, Derek, I thought you were a bit strong in the beginning, but she said, after I thought about it and the call continued, I really understood your angle. And she says, I would have never got that just from hearing that first part until you went deeper. She said, that's that not YouTube talk.
Right. And that's why I just
that's
like
what,
she's
right. Now that's Kathy, but that was actually a different person.
Right.
She was like, Derek, that's what you mean by this is not YouTube talk. Exactly. Like that's not something I can do right here. Right. And quite frankly, a lot of the conversations that we have, I just can't have those here.
No.
Right. YouTube would kick me out of here for some of that stuff too. Right.
It will be taken out of context.
Yeah. Some people just won't understand it.
And that's why we say, like, you've got to listen. I'm not going to brag on our coaching, but I'm going to brag on our coaching. I think it is phenomenal. Right. I had to laugh because who was it? Who's that?
And it all comes from experience.
Hold on one second, because we got a knocker at the door. And I'm sure gonna see who it is. But yeah, go ahead. Keep talking, Derek, while I check this.
So let me go through the chat real quick. And again, if you're new to us by any chance, especially if you came from like TikTok, let me know in the chat. I love to shout out the new people because again, like a lot of these folks that are here, guys, they know us, right? But I never like to take for granted that you all just know who we are and what we do. So let me know in the chat if you're like completely new to us. Like, Derek, I don't know you, bro. Like, this is my first time encountering you. But also let me know, too, if this is something that you've been praying for. So most people have been praying for something just like this, right? You guys were just like me and Shay 8 years ago, especially like me, because Shay didn't know what this was until I dragged her in it, right? So I told y'all I was that social worker that just saw this vision through somebody else and we just changed it. But let me know in the chat. You said, Derek, man, I've been praying to get into something just like this, bro. But I thought it had to be a license. Derek, I thought I had to own the property. Derek, I thought I had to get a $30,000 sprinkler system, right? Because right now, again, welcome, because God has answered your prayer. I'm your new big brother. Shay is your new sister. Exactly. Shay does this from a nonprofit standpoint. I'm more so on that LLC C Corp side, right? So put in the chat if you're under my coaching already, what entity are you? Just to give the people an example. Are you an LLC? Are you an S Corp? Are you a nonprofit? Or are you like Tiffany Walker, who's got both of these? Tiffany, shout me out in the chat if you're still here. Just say something right now in the chat, Tiffany. I want to point to you about something. Tiffany does both of these. And quite frankly, had the nonprofit well before she met us. So we don't take credit for that. But now under us, learning how can those two things possibly work and merge together? Make sense, everybody? So let me go in the chat. Tiffany Williams is completely new to us. Probably came over from TikTok. This is something I've been praying for from the Alexander family since I was the same way, and people hid it from me. And if I was on my other setting today and not in this pretty studio, I'd be showing you those pictures. But they're all on my Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and Facebook. So step number one for all of my new people, make sure that you become my friend on Facebook. And don't just be my friend, but when you come there, be nosy. Go and look at what we're doing and how we're changing the lives of people. And then make sure you join our free Facebook group, right? It is called The ILF Academy.
Yes.
The ILF Academy. Also absolutely free. Because again, I got something for everybody, y'all. When I promised God 8 years ago that if he let me get into this and it changed my life, I said, God, I'll go all over the world sharing this and I'll never take any credit. So watch me do that right now. Guys, without God, I'm a nobody. But with God, some of y'all gonna think I'm a genius, and I'm not. Lucky for me, I had a great wife that pushed me into my destiny. By what I jokingly tell y'all all the time, she tricked me to go to school. That wasn't no trick. That was part of God's plan. That's just the funny way that I say it to y'all. I'm not asking you all to go to college, though. I teach people in a couple of settings where people hear from me from years. And again, if you just join me, I'm not that great and that special. but kind of sort of, yes, I am, because God is crazy about me and I'm crazy about him. And he just showed my vision through somebody that was doing it the wrong way. Simple. And now we go all over the world teaching it. We rent a property or we lease it. And Lord have mercy, if you own it, congratulations, because that's probably 5% of y'all. You like Tiffany Walker. You like Tia Johnson. Very few people that run into us actually own the property.
Yeah.
So you guys that just came today, my family from Claremont, the Williams family, God bless you. That is not the normal thing that people come to us. 95% of y'all, I teach you how to go and get that property. What do you say?
Yeah.
And then that 3-day challenge, Shay, did I break it down or not? What do we say in the verbiage?
You sure did.
My people that joined that challenge, tell the other people what I talked about on day 2 solely, how it's all about the verbiage.
We talked about
the language.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot during our sessions, how language is a locator, right? If you enter into a space with the wrong language, you will always get a no, or you will always be misunderstood. When you have the appropriate language, I think that's where it all kind of just, it just balloons, right? In a good way. You're now giving people the appropriate information, not too much or not too little. You're giving people the good rebuttals or answers to their possible concerns. And it's just amazing.
I'm laughing at what Kathy said in the chat when we heard that knock on the door. Kathy said it might be a new gadget.
I know. It's you know how the solar people be coming around. How they be doing too much.
I ran a guy away yesterday, and boy, they so fancy now, y'all. They don't just walk door to door. They ride these little scooter things that have no handlebars, no nothing. Shay, he came right to I say, sir, don't do that. I said, people in my community will hurt you, sir. They gonna call the police on you. I say, sir, you need to get away from here.
You know, there's a lot of
where I live at, people gun tow. I'm in Florida, y'all. Like, we proud of being able to tote our guns and protect ourselves, right? So I say, young man, you're gonna get yourself hurt, man. You need to get out of here. Anyway, see how we go on that pig trail?
No, but this gentleman rang the bell and then started knocking like he was a popo.
Yeah, like, bro, what you doing?
I'm like, what are you
doing, bro? You're gonna get hurt. Anyway, I want to welcome all of my new people. Tiffany Williams says she don't know me. Samika says she don't know me. Well, guess what? I'm your new brother now. Why Singletary? I'm your new brother now. Latasha, I'm surely your brother because you just like me 8 years ago. You said you've been praying for this. You were just like me. And God said, Derek, let me show you something. And see, I'm going to pretend right now only me and Latasha and Shay here. Latasha, let me pull you into our room.
I'm just going to
come closer, Tasha. Tasha, just like you, I was praying for it. And that girl told me as clear as day, Tasha. She says, Derek, I'll never teach you how to do this, bro. Now, that's the one thing that I really appreciated about her, right, Shay?
Yeah.
I said, wow, Shay, she kept it real with me. She said, Derek, I'll never teach you, bro. You keep sending me these clients. And Latasha, that girl.
In other words, what she said is, run me my money.
Yeah, run me my money, bro. You just keep doing your job, making $800 every 2 weeks, Derek. You just be the social worker.
Right here and don't grow.
See, Latasha don't get it. Latasha, please make sure you listen because it's just us three now. Latasha, she took her phone out one day and she went boop, 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 boop. And Latasha, I'll never forget this as long as I live. It was a Chase Bank app. And she says, Derek, look at what I make doing this. And Latasha, as they picking me up off the ground, because I nearly fainted. See, Latasha, you forgot, Latasha, that I was making 28 grand a year.
Don't faint, though.
Shay, Latasha forgot about that. I had to remind her. Yeah, I got my cut up jeans on today. Y'all got my knees out today. But Latasha, I was making 28 grand a year asking God to change my life, asking God to get into real estate. And God's like, Derek, wake up, bro. I'm showing you your dream through this other lady, Derek. You just got to do it the different way.
Yeah.
And Latasha, 8 years later, here we are now, and I coach it in 39 states. But watch this. I'm always going to be the guy that's going to tell you all the bumps and the bruises I went through. A lot of these coaches, they try to make you think it was beauty and roses from day one. Y'all, I made the Channel 8 news in the wrong way. I went through a $40,000 lawsuit.
Twice.
Guys, everything you can imagine in a bad way, it happened. I wrote a book about it. It's called How to Avoid the ILF Fiasco. How to avoid the 12 dumbest mistakes I ever made starting this. I tell people, if they just buy that one book and read the table of contents and don't even read the book, it'll save you thousands of dollars and it'll get you started. Because I tell y'all the stuff that people hid from me. Like, make sure you get a general liability policy, dummy. I didn't know that. Most of y'all just like me. You trying to save the world. You love God and you love people. But sometimes we lack the business acumen to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Now, don't raise your hand. Don't put nothing in the chat. But agree to yourself right now in your living room that, wow, man, Derek right about that. We all love God, man. We love people. And we trying to change the world. But sometimes we slip on the business acumen part of it. We slip on getting the right and proper coaching.
Listen, let's
Lord
talk
have
about
mercy.
that. No,
that's why I want to give a shout out to the people that came to the challenge.
Here's what I want to say. So
coaching.
I've had conversations, and this is what I want to talk about, because, and I think we talked about this a little bit before, about how, I wasn't a fan of coaching initially. And it wasn't because I thought people were out to get us. I just really didn't see the value until we started getting coaches, right? And I was like, dang, like I had to ask for forgiveness, because it was more like, Shay, this is how people perish, for a lack of knowledge, right? You don't know everything. You can't walk into a space and think that you know everything about that particular field, about that particular niche that you're trying to enter into. And especially if you're new in something, why would you not get coaching? Right.
Learn from the mistakes of others is how you say it sometimes.
And I mentioned this. We've coached a lot of people, and that's why we say it's very important to vet your coaches. Vet whoever you're going to place money in their hands.
Yeah. But
we'll always say this as well. The coach's information, I can guarantee you, is more than likely good or feasible, right? Where you can take it and run with it. But what we see as coaches is that a lot of people don't put the oomph, that effort behind it. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people out there that are out to get your money. But when you do the research and you find the right coach, the right fit, the right consultant for you, and you apply the information that has been given, oh my God. Like Derek says it all the time. We cannot dictate how you're going to put your hands to the plow, how you're going to grind this thing out.
The only thing we can't control.
But the information, we've seen it. It's tried. It's true. Tiffany Walker. We've seen our Kataras. We've seen our Angelas. We've seen our Janine Whites. We've seen our Dornico Rogels. Like, we've got so many success stories in so many different states that you cannot tell us it doesn't work, or the information, it's not theory. We're doing it. is null and void.
Yeah.
But that's why I say it's important. We've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people that have started businesses, not the ILF, but other entities that refuse to get help. How can you run a business if you've never ran a business before and not have no form of consulting? Not even just don't make sense. It's crazy to me. Especially if let's say you are in healthcare. That was me. Knew everything about the inner workings of healthcare, making sure that we were JCO compliant, knew all of the things that I needed to know to make sure that things operated effectively. When I got into this space, I knew nothing. Nothing. Okay, nothing. I watched Derek come and go, do his thing, and I was like, okay, whatever. This looks easy. Anybody can do this. No, not so much so. The benefit of Derek is his mental health background, being a case manager, being a social worker, knowing the different medications, drugs, what they're used for. On top of that, you worked with one of the best docs.
Yeah, I was very fortunate.
In Orlando.
Yeah, that was a blessing.
Like, for such a time as this, can you put in the chat for such a time? It was
like being in school, right? Because I was at that job for 9 years, but like the latter 5 to 6 years, it was like being in college. Because like you said, Shay, I sat under one of the best, right? And again, guys, if you're on our TikTok channel, you can only see my big face. Make sure you come over to our YouTube channel where everybody is, and that's at Forston Consultants. That's my last name, Forston Consultants. If you're on TikTok, leave there and come to YouTube at Forston Consultants. But Shay, that was a blessing that I was able to sit under such a great doctor, and I'll call a treatment team. Mm-hmm. And again, that's what gave me the vision for all of this. Guys, I'm no genius. I didn't wake up out of bed and say, you know what, I'm gonna start a housing program. No. It started with my wife pushing me to go to school, got that job once I graduated, and I saw the conditions of the thing I wanted to change.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
So I would call that purpose. I found my purpose in life, which was to change the way homeless people are being viewed and to change the way they live in. The other purpose was a promise I made to God. Some of us make promises and we forget about it. I said, God, if you let me get into this and it changed my life, God, I'll teach it to everybody that want to know it. So what most of y'all don't know, for 2 years straight, many years ago, we taught this for free, just like we do today on YouTube. We got so busy and it got so popular with it showing results, we had to turn it into a business.
Yeah, we did.
Which what we call a ministry. So now, thanks and glory to God and no credit to Derek or Shay, because the longer you're going to hang around me, you're going to always hear me give God the credit. I tell you all the time, I'm no genius. The cheat code of my life is God first, softwares and systems, and we use digitalflowsolutions.net, virtual assistants. Those are remote workers in the Philippines, Egypt, and Africa. And then that last piece is the assessment of choosing the right people. I tell you guys all the time, you choose the right people, this is easy. It's a ministry. You get the wrong people, this turns into a job.
It does.
And we all got jobs right now that we're trying to leave. I wanted to leave my job. Amen, somebody? Now, if you got a great job and your job don't bother you, you go in when you want to, leave when you want to. Yeah. Take 2-hour lunches. Some of y'all work from home. I ain't talking to you. You keep your job. We'll decide when you leave. When you got them easy jobs, God and us, you and I will decide when you leave. But you got to, like me 8 years ago, say, God, when can I leave? Because I'm ready to go. Put in the chat, you like Derek. You say, man, Derek, I'm ready to go, bro. I ain't got no great job like you talking about, Derek.
We say use wisdom. We had to, Derek's mom and I, we had to tell Derek, hey, bruh, you got to go. You doing the most right now, sir.
Man, y'all, I say this jokingly, but I almost killed myself trying to do both.
It was bad.
Like, because y'all, when you're passionate about something and you put your all into it, but you still got this job, because don't get it twisted. Out of 9 years on that job, I was the greatest employee ever for 8 years and about 6 months. Those last 3 months of my job, I'll admit it, y'all, they should have fired me.
Don't talk too much about it. Somebody might come.
Well, it's too late now. I've been gone now, 8 years, 9 years.
I know.
But y'all, I'm just honest enough to tell y'all that I was a guy that came to work late, left early, took a 2-hour lunch break when it should have only been 30 minutes, because guess what? I was building this thing that I do today. And I knew that one of those things had to take a hit, and it couldn't be this.
Because this was future.
But watch this. I'm such a great coach. I don't want you to do that. Because somebody gonna say, well, man, babe, Derek told me to leave my job tomorrow. The devil is a liar. We use wisdom. I even tell you now in my coaching that if I could have did things all over, I would have still left. But the timing and things I would have put in place would have been different.
Yeah. Keep the hearts coming over there on TikTok.
Prime example. Why should I leave my W-2 job and then go to the bank and ask for a business line of credit? Dummy. That don't make sense. The bank respects your W-2 job way more than this entrepreneurship thing you trying to start. Let me say that one more time. Dummy me, I left my job and then went to the bank talking about, hey, bank, I'm finna start a housing program and I want a business credit card, a business line. That guy said, Derek, you must be a fool. He said, bro, you just left a job you was on for 9 years. I would have gave you all the credit you wanted, bro. Why did you leave that job first? So now in my coaching, guess what I tell y'all? Slow down. Don't be like me. And let's establish all this business credit now. I want you to leave your job with $80,000 to $100,000 in business credit.
Please.
Now we leave. Because what if the business don't jump off right away? Boy, that's some good coaching. What if the business don't jump out right away, Anderson family?
Yeah.
You got $100,000 now in business credit, no problem. Because your brother, dummy me, jumped out, left that job, and it did kind of catch fire right away. So I'm going to use the word struggled a little bit in the beginning. I don't want that for y'all. Remember, that's the whole basis of my coaching, that you avoid the 12 dumbest mistakes I made. And one of those is leaving my job prematurely. Can 5 of y'all put in the chat, Derek, this makes sense, bro. Like, bro, you preaching right now. But watch this. I'm no pastor, I'm no bishop, and I'm no preacher. But we just happen to love God. He crazy about us. We love people and we love real estate.
Absolutely.
And those three things, Shay, allow us to run a ministry. I told you 8 minutes ago that me and your pastor are the exact same, because he loved God, he loved people, and guess what? He also involved in real estate, because your church building is real estate.
Yeah.
And a lot of pastors now are coming into this. So if your pastor don't know about this, you slipping. Why can't you be the answer to your church's housing problem?
What? This
goes beyond just your community. Now, this includes your church too.
Let's hover right there for a moment.
Let's go, Ms. Shay.
A lot of people, if you don't know, if you're not active in ministry, you may not understand or see this. Not understand, but you may not see it or be aware of how frequent your church is called for housing or called to meet a need for a specific demographic or population type, whether it's alms giving. Some churches, well, most churches have a fund that they will pay rent for someone that's troubled or having some trouble procuring their rent for the month. You need to know where the needs are coming in from. I'm dropping a jam there.
Ding.
I just told you a good referral source.
Yeah.
Your pastors, your church leadership.
Because all the needs come where, Shay?
To the church.
Sister so-and-so about to get put out. Brother Jerome lost his job last week. Guys, the problems come to the church anyway. Why not you be connected to that? And one more time, TikTok family, if you on TikTok, you can only see me. My wife looks way better than me. Please come to YouTube so you can see her. We're together in this beautiful studio. So my TikTok family, one more time, come to Forston Consultants. That's my last name. Miss Angie, you putting all kind of stuff in the chat. Miss J, you guys come to YouTube and see everything.
And let the TikTok family know that we are not able to view the chat over there. But I am going to add their
Forston Consultants. That's my last name, Forston Consultants. Let me know those last 2 people in the chat that you're coming over right now. Dr. Rachel, come to Forston Consultants on YouTube and let us change your life. God and I are going to change your life through real estate and helping people. Back on you, Shay.
So I just wanted to share that is a great referral source, the church. Our church knows what we do. Matter of fact, I was teasing Derek because Monday or Tuesday, Derek will run in his mouth about the church. And it's so funny because our church.
Yeah, I was joking, but I kind of being serious, but I was having fun.
He was joking, but it was so funny because they had just posted something and made us the spotlight of the month. I don't know what they're doing now.
Spotlight our 2 members for changing the community, right?
I was like, oh.
Because they put y'all big brother in the article last week. So I'm in the Orlando Voyager, guys. They pick entrepreneurs. I was about to say small, but we never say small entrepreneur, guys. We speak these things that be not as though they were. So 8 years ago, I talked the way that I am today, and it really wasn't true. I was just calling these things that be not as though they were. That's a fancy way to say just speaking into existence.
Yep. Bring it forth.
Right?
Prophesy.
Just prophesy. Speak it. Because again, there's power in your tongue. A lot of us are so used to speaking negative. Try to change that every now and again. Anyway, back to that point. Privileged to be in the Orlando Voyager, where they do pick entrepreneurs in your city that's making an impact, where the city or worldwide, and we just happen to be doing both. So I'm super excited about that. And that one article is also leading to a lot of opportunities. So we also speak May 28th in Fort Lauderdale. So if you guys are anywhere in the Fort Lauderdale area, we'll be at the 511 Bar and Lounge, a really nice, swanky, rich place that they're having this event. And they're known to have these real estate events, and it's the Subject to Broward County group. So if you guys know Pace Morby, this is one of his groups, right? So if you're in Fort Lauderdale or anywhere close, let us know. We want to see you on the 28th of this month. That's in a couple of days. Shay, what's that, Tuesday or Wednesday?
No, it's Wednesday.
And we're going to hang out for a couple of days down there, right? So if you live down there, let us know.
Let us know if you're in the area. Just shoot a text to us at the number scrolling at the bottom of the screen. For our TikTok people, when you entered the chat, that number is in the chat. We may even do something while we're there. We may say,
you just never know. It just depends on who's there, because if not, Shay and I go just have some fun in the sun. But my desire, because y'all know me, I want to meet y'all, right? Especially the people that are under our coaching. If you saw me on YouTube 1 or 2 times, I don't care. We should meet in person. Right, because Shay's got an idea that if it's enough of people, we may rent a room or something and do a little shindig and may have a little brainstorm session or something, right? So exactly. So you just never know. So our last call for that will probably be Monday. So Monday, when we go live 7 p.m. right here again, we're going to do a last call. Probably even before the session, my team is going to send out an email to certain people. Because again, if a certain number of you guys are available, we're going to do lunch or dinner or something. Yeah. But if not, Shay going to make me take her shopping. So y'all come out and let's do something. Because if not, Shay going to have me down there, Las Olas, which is what I heard is the Rodeo Drive of Fort Lauderdale. Very rich area. So anyway, we're going to be down there having fun. And if y'all don't come through, Shay going to make me take her shopping. So
I already got my techie stuff. So now it's time to get some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot going on. We got photo shoots and
in fact, Shay,
stuff happening this month.
Real quick, Shay, let's get a quick commercial break. Let's hear from David and Dennis, and we'll be right back.
You got it.
Hey, David, did you know that you can start your own housing program and it doesn't require you for you to own the property and you do not need a license? So how in the world would you do that? I was always told that you had to own the property and that there was always some kind of special license that you had to get from your city to do this. People always told me that there was lots of red tape to jump through. So you mean to tell me these are also not group homes? It's actually simple. They're called independent living facilities, and Forster Consultants actually created it. They hold the trademark for it. So I follow them religiously on Instagram at Forster Consultants as well as Facebook. And every Monday night at 6 p.m., they actually go live on YouTube at Forster Consultants, and I follow them there as well. So you mean to tell me my dream of becoming this housing provider that I've always dreamt of is closer than I realize? And again, you're telling me I don't need a license and I don't have to own the property. Absolutely. You do not have to own the property. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a CNA, and you can get started as soon as tomorrow. Click the link below for more information. All right, we are back. We are back. And thank you guys so much for joining us on the live podcast, Don't Wait to Be Great, live right here on our YouTube channel at Forster Consultants. You guys got a lot of choices of where you could be, right? But y'all chose to be here, and we super appreciate that. So thank y'all so much. And again, my only ask is that follow me here on YouTube, so subscribe. But my favorite is follow me on Facebook at Derek Forston. Follow me everywhere, Shay and I at Forster Consultants, right? That's everywhere, Forster Consultants. But I want you to see some of the personal things that Shay and I posted on our pages. So she's Shanya Shay Forston. We call her Shay.
That's
but Shanya Shay.
SHONYASHA.
Exactly. And I'm Derek, nice and simple. So Derek Forston, be my friend. I want to see 55 friend requests today. But more important than just being my friend, go and be nosy and look at what we're doing. They've also babyfied me. So you're going to see baby Derek on there. You're going to see baby Shay, but we're giving the same great information. Okay. So, I just saw a text on my phone popped up from my mom. She said something, and it had a heart. So I may have to pull that down and read that. Mom Forston, if you're in the YouTube channel, send me that text again.
Yeah.
Big shout out to my mom that's always around, and she's a part of this. My mom's our spiritual advisor. She keeps all of us in line. Amen, y'all. Tia, Katara, Tiffany. but again, thank y'all so much for being here. We're here every Monday and Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here live. And we're also here every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I see that the YouTube channel is still growing, even right now live. So that means a lot of you all are doing exactly what we asked. If you're on TikTok, come back or come over to our YouTube channel at Forston Consultants. And I'm giving it back over to Miss Shay.
So I want to give a shout out first and foremost to Earl and Jan. Y'all making me go to church over here, okay? Thank you for your scripture references, because it is so true. Everything that we do is to honor and please God. So, that is the foundation of our household. That's how we do business. That's just how we live life, right? Giving glory, honor, and praise to the one.
God first in all things.
the one and only true living God, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So again, thank you guys so much. So Erlen Jen says, so is this property management? Yes and no. It's property and people management. Like, because the property management aspect of this side is fairly easy. The people management is where it becomes very interesting. Oh, Ma teaching now.
She's on the live?
Yeah, Ma just
Ma
texted me
Forster.
what she texted you.
Well, I didn't see it, so read it to me.
She said, good morning, baby girl. Acknowledge the new people joining and answer the questions.
That's what we've been doing, right?
No, we're getting ready to go in the chat. We got you, Mom.
Absolutely.
Mom don't play. You see that, Mom?
I just told you 6 minutes ago, Mom's going to keep us in line. So make sure y'all put y'all questions in the chat, especially if you're new. And if you missed that 3-day challenge, you should have a lot of questions, right? So let's do it.
Yeah. So to answer Earl and Jen Tabron, yes, it's very similar to property management, but it goes a lot further, right? Because it's now dealing with people, multiple people that are most likely, are not related. You're now having to make sure that you're facilitating or kind of observing the personalities and making sure that you're doing what we call the assessment, so that you're not bringing in people that will do this, because now you have a whole fiasco. So we, in our training, in our coaching, what we do is we show you how to effectively conduct an assessment from the mental health standpoint of things, from just the whole overall, knowing what these people's diagnoses are, and diving deep into the questions we ask to assess, so that we're making sure we're making the right decision for the resident. Not so much so us, but making sure that we're setting them up for success. Because sometimes you'll have a call that comes in and the person feels like they're independent and can live on their own. But as you do that assessment, you may get a better understanding that that person is not so much so the independent living model may not be a safe fit or a good fit for them. So it's all about making sure that we're placing people, for one, in the right environment, two, that they can fully be successful in this environment, and three, that everybody, it's a cohesive, safe living environment for all that will be there. So it's a little bit more than property management. The property management aspect of things has now been handed over to our virtual assistants for the most part. So it's the people management, I think, is the most important.
Because if I had to answer that same question, that's how I would lead it off. So Shay is absolutely right. This is managing people, right? Now, depending on who we're talking to, because I talk a lot about verbiage, it may be called property management in one aspect, but let me be real honest about this. You can call this whatever you want, y'all. Co-living, shared living, ILFs, communal living. But at the end of the day, we're managing people, right? We're taking 8 people that don't know each other. How do you do that? Through something that we call the assessment. So we got our own dictionary here at Forster Consultants, and our dictionary and assessment is a series of questions that allows you to make a sound decision about who lives in your ILF. And no question is off limits. So Shay hit it right on the head, guys. This is managing people. Because again, the way I explain it, if you get the right people in this, it's like a crock pot. You can put your steak and potatoes in it and walk away from it. But if you put the wrong people in it, you got to stay right in front of it, or you'll burn the whole kitchen down. It's like cooking on high heat in a skillet with that much oil in it. See the difference between the two? The crock pot, walk away from it.
Right.
And in the business sense, walk away from it and go start another business. Why you think Shay and I own 8 businesses? Not because we're so great. First of all, it's because of the goodness of God. But the second, because this first business is the tree trunk to everything we do. Our ILF model is our tree trunk. Those other 7 businesses are branches from that tree.
Exactly.
Right? So back to that other example. You get the right people, this is pretty easy. You get the wrong people, this turns into a job. And that assessment allows us to make sure that we're getting the right person. And then kind of the janky side that I like to say, it allows us to avoid the knucklehead. Because, right, our prayer is that, God, can you send me the nice people and the people that are crying to you every night for a clean, nice place to live?
Right.
People that want to pay rent, people that want to change their life, people that want to turn over a new leaf. Not the guy that's sneaking in women, not the guy that's using drugs and sharing it, not the guy that's cooking fried chicken at 3 o'clock in the morning with earphones on, singing to the top of his lungs. Not that guy. They all may need help, but not at my program. Does that make sense, everybody? God and I have made an agreement that we want to house people that are ready to change their life. My program is called Second Chance. That means that I already got an understanding that by the time most of the people that come to me, they've already screwed up in life 55 times. But the time they meet me in my program, this is their second chance. That's why this model, y'all, is so genius. It involves the love of God, real estate, and social services. And if you have some patience, you are perfect for this. But if you lack patience, if people tell you, hey, bro, hey, sis, you're not a people's person. Hey, why you always got an attitude? Why you always see the glass half full? Why you so skeptic about everything? Half empty, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why you a skeptic about everything? That's usually not, this ain't good for people like that. I got a whole slideshow about who this is not good for. But I often say, if you got patience, you love God, you love people, and you love real estate, you just found your next ministry.
Yeah.
It's going to bless your city. It's going to bless your family. It can change the trajectory of your finances. Because I'm not afraid to talk about how it can change your life financially. Guys, I'm so honest and probably too transparent most of the time, but I want y'all to get it. Now, don't get me misunderstood when I say this, because I never ate out of a garbage can. I've never been poor on the street. God has always been good to me and my family. But how many of you guys can agree that you never had enough? You robbing Peter to pay Paul. There is no abundance in your life.
Yeah.
That's where I came from. So when I tell people that I've been kind of, and I hate to use the word poor, but that's been like my whole life until God gave me this ministry. I done had every job you can think of. I done tried every side hustle you can think of, legal and the other side. None of that stuff works. When you get into ministry and you allow God to blow on that thing, game over.
That's where you really see.
Game over, Shay.
That's where you see the blessing. That's where you see the increase that it says, make us rich and add no sorrow. That's word.
Add no sorrow, Shay.
And that's what you see when you're honestly walking in purpose. So this is purpose for us.
Yeah.
This is purpose for our livelihood. This is purpose.
We're in
all
purpose.
Aspects and areas.
And just like I told my people during that challenge, guess who else know that you in purpose? The devil.
So
that's why you got to keep moving, because some of our problems, none of y'all that's listening, look at the road behind you. It's the people behind you. Some of us get a little bit of a stumbling block, and let me not kind of make it too small. Some of us have big things that happen in our life, but the devil is a liar that it's going to stop you from what God already put in your heart. God knew that stuff was going to happen. All the loss Shay and I went through last year, the year before, my brother passed away, who I built this with, all the financial loss we went through, we was very transparent with you guys. Shay and I, outside of January of this year, if I go 18 months back, it's like, oh, Lord, God, where are you?
It was a lot.
And we have never seen that, but we called it a season. Some of y'all right now going through a season. Yeah. Your good or your bad is both seasonal. So when it's good, store up.
Can I tell you something?
Because it won't last always. When it's bad, keep your chin up, because it won't last always. Somebody type in the chat, it won't last always. Because I mean both sides of that. The good, hate to say it, it won't last always. There's seasons. The Bible even says that. And God had to take me through to say, Derek, this is what I was talking about, bro. Oh, well, God, why my season had to go 18 months?
Because he said so.
Some of y'all 18 weeks. Some of you feel like 18 years.
Like we've got a season that we've been in for over 12.
Okay. Come on, Shay.
We've got a season that we petition God for.
Don't
daily.
curse your Christ is what Shay told y'all 2 weeks ago.
And I can be like, we can be here humdrum, down in the ditches. But guess what? When that season does come, this platform will be the platform of testimony and we will walk you through the situation of that season. But it's been more than 12 years, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
It has been more than 12 years, but we still proclaim it.
In fact, put in the chat right now if you still waiting on God to do something in your life that you've been asking for. Just put in the chat right now, still waiting. Mm-hmm. Still waiting.
There's a song by William McDowell. I don't mind waiting. You know exactly which one I'm talking about. The lyric says, "The closer you come, the louder I get." I'm gonna have to play that song.
Y'all gonna make Shay run now.
Woo, this song. If you've never heard it, please. Whoever's facing anything, go. It's called "I Don't Mind Waiting" by William McDowell. It's on one of his older albums. I think it's a reprise.
And since we got new people on here, I won't sing it. But if I had all my old people, I would sing it. But I ain't going to embarrass myself in front of our new people today.
I don't mind waiting. And
back on you, Michelle.
I just want to encourage somebody that's in the wait, because I do see some people putting that they're still waiting.
Yeah. We ain't the only one, Shay. People are just like us when they find us.
The situation may be different. Yeah. But there's a waiting period.
Yeah.
And I've been saying
because everybody's promise is different.
Yeah, and lately what I've been doing, so I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be very transparent with you all. I just purchased a new study Bible, and I am actually studying a few different things. But the one thing I wanted to talk about is what I've been studying is doubt, right? And that's something that can creep in while you're waiting. So I implore you to go to the back of your Bible. Read all the scripture on doubt. The last study I did was in Numbers, and it was talking about how Moses, although he's seen all of this glory, all of the goodness of God, yet when God told him that he was going to provide manna from heaven, he doubted, because God said not for a day, not for 7 days, not for this time frame, but it was 30 days. God said, I will take care of you and this whole slew of people that's with you for a month. It was a time frame that was put on this situation. And Moses doubted. Moses had doubt?
Moses
had doubt. How does that make you feel to know that you're in good company? But the turnaround to that was, what did Moses do to shift that doubt into faith? And that was, he started just rethinking of the things that God had already done. So I sat in my Bible study and I started journaling. I said, I watched how how my mom passed, and you gave me a peace that surpassed all understanding. I saw how my husband was knocking on death's door, but you gave me peace, not only peace, but you gave me wisdom. You also aligned all of the right people at the right time to be your hands in the earth. So you've got to go back and remind yourself of those things, right? I look at Derek's abdomen on a regular basis and I say, but God. A lot of y'all don't know that Derek, a couple of years ago, about 3 years now? About 3 or 4 years ago, got ill. Thought it was food poisoning. Apparently it was not. Like I told you, my past was healthcare. And Derek got worse.
I just told Shay it felt like I was about to have a baby.
When I asked him, I said, put it in words. Because it got to the point where Derek, like, mom was
That sounds weird, right? I said, Shay, I feel like I'm about to have a baby. Like something's trying to come out of me.
Yeah. So long story short, it's also important to leave a place in the right standard.
I could have died, y'all. Yeah.
Thank God for relationship. I said, Lord, where do you want me to take him? I didn't just take him to any hospital. I said, Lord, where do you want me to take him? We're surrounded by hospitals. There's one up the street. There's
very close to us. Yeah.
And the Holy Spirit, the next thing I noticed, Derek, is that the phone was in my hand and I heard a familiar voice. And it was like I woke up, but I was on the phone and I was like, hey, to the person on the phone. I said, who's on call? And she told me who was on call. She said, what's wrong? I said, I'm bringing my husband. She said, okay, I'm going to prep the OR. She didn't know. She said, she told me who was on call. And it just so happened to be a surgeon that just my bestie.
Yeah.
Like he's always a great surgeon.
He's my good buddy now.
They're like brothers now. You know, it's a whole family affair.
But the relationship, right? What we always tell them about.
The blessing is listening to God in that situation. And I know I'm taking a pig trail, but I just want to encourage somebody that when you're in a situation, don't curse it. Incline your ear to God, because you don't know what he's doing in that process. Long story short, we get to the hospital, get to the exit of the hospital. The surgeon calls me and says, "How far are you?" I said, "I'm at the exit, coming off the highway." He said, I'll have somebody to meet you at the emergency room. This is during COVID. This is right. Things were still locked down in hospitals. We weren't really out. We were outside of COVID, but still had a lot of the restrictions. And long story short, as soon as I dropped Derek, I got to the front of the hospital. They swung those doors open like it weren't nobody's business. Grabbed him up out of that truck. And before I could even park the truck, I mean, guys, the parking was literally right there. Not a far walk, not a garage, nothing. Before I could get out by the time I got into the hospital, they already had an IV in his arm. He was already being seen by another doctor, by the ER doctor. And long story short, we had information on what was going on. Ended up needing 2 emergency surgeries. The first one was not so pretty. Derek was open. His abdomen was open for 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Could not eat, could not do anything, completely open. They had to leave him open. Long story short, your intestines pretty much ruptured.
Yeah, the doctor said it looked like somebody had shot me with a 12 gauge.
And he
had my intestines in his hand. This is getting kind of graphic, but he said he could put his thumbs through my intestine, which appeared to him to be a gunshot wound. He says it looked like somebody shot me.
Yeah.
But guys, it was a normal day. Picture me here right now, just sitting here talking to y'all. And I was like, oh my God, I got the worst pain ever, just out of the blue. Everybody thought it was my appendix.
I sure did.
And I don't know what the medical name, what was wrong with me. Shay can tell you, but he put his finger through my intestines. He said, man, I do a lot of shot victims. You look, well, now he was telling me because I'm out, of course, but told my family that it looks like I had been shot with a 12 gauge shotgun.
And we don't know. Crazy
just
thing
ruptured
about it,
out the blue.
Crazy thing about it is the couple of days before this happened, and this is just going to show when you're walking in obedience, the enemy will try anything to cause doubt, to cause fear, or to cause you to stumble and fall and walk away from purpose. A couple of days before that, we were at church. And our pastor came to Derek and spoke over him. And she said, you're getting ready to enter a season. And we're thinking it's a mountaintop season, y'all. Yeah. No. Within 72 hours, this happened. Our pastors wind up going to California to do something. And they're just checking in every day. What's going on? What's happening? It's crazy. But like I said, long story short, guys, he is here. He is amongst the land of living. That was a long 3 months. But guess what? In that 3 months, all of our ILFs were fully functioning and operational. Full. Running
themselves with me being down and out.
And we never missed anything, even the coaching.
How many months would you say that I was out, Shay, just kind of down?
About 6 months.
About 6 months, right?
Yeah. Because after that, you remember, you couldn't move much, because remember, that was a lot.
Yeah.
He lost a bunch of weight. You were super little. Oh my goodness, you're so little. And it was a lot. But just know that, through it all, even in those valley moments or those valley experiences, be mindful to know that God is with you. You just got to incline your ear and press in. And as I'm saying this to y'all, I'm speaking to myself, because I told you, we've been walking through a season for over 12 years. And there's days that the burden gets heavy. There's days that you ask why, but I truly believe it's to really proclaim the goodness and the faithfulness of God when you get on the other side of it. You heard Derek talk about 18 months. 18 months of famine. Let's just call
felt
it
like
that.
18 months of hell. That's what it felt like.
It
right?
was rough.
To where you start questioning yourself, like, God, what did
Yeah.
I do?
Yeah.
Or God, what can I do? And sometimes, y'all, it's nothing. And I think truly, as we say often, for such a time as this, we went through that so that I can say right now in this moment at 11:15 a.m., guys, there's nothing you done. It's just a season that you must get through.
Yeah.
We can't explain why it came to you. Obviously, you were chosen for it. Some people will often say, why me? And then some folks will say, well, why not you? Who else do you suggest? Right? So we believe that when you go through something that is so bad, what can you learn from it? Because ultimately, if you don't learn from it, it's all baloney to me. But if you learn from it and ultimately keep your chin up as much as you can, because sometimes it feels like you're drowning. But you try, it's also what Mom just put in the chat. You got to watch that mouth too. So I'm somebody, I like to think that I'm pretty good at that part.
Good at that.
Because I'll shut my mouth. I got nothing to say when things are bad.
I'm going to be honest, y'all.
When things are good, but when things are bad, I ain't got nothing to say because I'm also praying internally. Yeah. Sometimes that prayer got to come out your mouth. Yes. You got to pray out loud. But most of the time, I'm silent. I ain't got nothing to say because I know me. If I start talking, it's not going to be positive. Right. And my saying is watch your mouth.
Yeah. And
not mouth as in MOUTH. I put an F on it. Watch your mouth because I'm from the South, right? So be careful with that tongue, y'all. Mom Forston just said it. Life and death is in this thing. Yeah. Now, I can't explain why more death come through it. Because if we want to be real, you can speak negative and it happened like that. I can't explain why that positive stuff sometimes take a little longer. Now, if you disagree with that, you live a great life. But I know right now, if you speak negative, it can happen in the next 5 minutes or tomorrow. Sometimes that positive word, it takes a little time to manifest. Yeah. Be patient and watch your mouth. Michelle?
And I'm sorry, I know I took a whole
No, that was good. Somebody needed that. And that's why it happens.
I really wanted to share that because I think a lot of times people see you've got to be consistent in showing up. A lot of people didn't know that Derek was down. A lot of people didn't know what was happening.
I didn't post it on social media. So y'all pray for me. Y'all, some people do that, and I'm gonna be careful because I'm gonna be careful. Some people do that, Shane, is only for attention. I didn't want nobody to know I was down. Because if y'all know me as the strong, upbeat Derek. I didn't want y'all to see me crippled and bent over like some 90-year-old dude talking about pray for me. Now, even though people do that, that's nothing wrong with it, but I got my own circle. I got my own church. I got a wife, a praying mother. I don't need to put it on social media so that the wrong person see it and then try to put a hex on me or a curse. And I don't believe in all of that stuff like that in terms of, you know what I mean?
We know it's possible.
It's possible. We don't doubt it. But keep it positive, right? Again, watch your mouth. Everybody don't need to know everything. Some of y'all need to hustle in silence. I do believe in under my coaching, we got to shout to the world what this thing is. But some of y'all in y'all beginning stages, let's learn to hustle in silence until the thing kind of, because sometimes we'll get frustrated if somebody put their mouth on it the wrong way. Yeah. You get down and out and you want to quit. So be careful who your circle is and who's around you. Yeah. And again, watch that mouth and be careful.
Yeah. So back to, listen, Earl and Jen, y'all preach, please. Preach. Psalms 141:3, set a watch, O Most High, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. Ew. Yes.
That's that prayer like Tiffany taught us a long time ago. God, go before me. Before I ever enter this city, this building, this case manager meeting. How many of my clients, coaching students, and I don't call y'all that, but my family, I tell y'all, or either we do it together and we pray before you walk into any place. Yeah. Tiffany Walker, call me a liar if I don't instruct you to pray before you go. Tiffany also called me a liar if you didn't give us the scripture or that encouragement that you prayed, God, go before us, make the crooked roads straight, make the hilly roads smooth. Mm-hmm. And that just simply means, God, before I ever walk in this building to open my big mouth, can you go before me and set the atmosphere that when I start talking, they think I'm a dadgum genius. Guys, most places I walk in and start talking, they think I'm a genius. But I'm honest enough to tell y'all, because I tell you all the time, barely finished high school. Yeah. let me slow that down because some people just think I say that. Watch this. I've graduated high school in year 2000. But when I graduated, y'all, they gave me a certificate. Because when I was in high school, you had to take this test called the HSCT, High School Competency Test. Over the years, it changed to all these other things. But raise your hand if you remember, you my age, and you remember the HSCT. I don't care if you had a 4.0. If you couldn't pass that HSCT, years prior to me, you couldn't even walk with the other students. Thank God for my principal that year. They said, everybody gonna walk, but what we gonna give Derek and all his friends that didn't pass that test, they gonna get a certificate. But it all gonna be rolled. I've never talked about this online ever. Wow. This studio does this, y'all. It make us open. They gave y'all brother a rolled up diploma like everybody else, like I was that special kid. I wasn't no special kid, y'all, like that. I couldn't pass that dadgum test. All through high school, they wrote letters on me. Derek's pretty cool. He all right, but he can't pass a test. He has test anxiety. So guess who didn't even take that SAT thing? I didn't take that. Guess who didn't take that other one? Afraid of it. This woman had to trick me as a grown man to go to college.
He did well.
So I barely finished high school. I couldn't pass the HSCT. So I walked the stage like everybody else. My paper looked like everybody else. But I had to go back that next summer and take that test. Failed it again. I've never told this story live. Went back and took that test again with my mama, the church family, my neighborhood, everybody praying on their knees. Because my mama said, Derek, pretty much, I'm going to paraphrase this because she do care what I do in life. So, Mom, you can straighten it up, Mom. But she said, Derek, you ain't got to do a lot of things in life, bro. But, boy, you going to graduate from high school. You going to give me that. You going to give me a high school diploma, boy, if you never go to college. And I say this jokingly. My family always told me that I can be whatever I wanted to be. That was always something that was instilled in us. But let me be real honest with y'all. I was such a knucklehead. I wouldn't be surprised if my family actually didn't expect that much out of me. Meaning, boy, graduate high school and become a good citizen. Don't hurt nobody, don't kill nobody. That would have been a good life. Who knew that I would be the guy that go all over the world now teaching this thing that's changing the lives of other people?
Wow.
But I just told you, and I went into the full story for the first time. I barely graduated because I said, Mama, I'm tired of this test. And I just forget about it. I'm going to get a GED. Mama said, the devil is a liar. Not in my house, you going to get a GED. She said, Derek, you got to give me that, bro. Bro, that's the only thing you owe me, Derek. So, honoring that, I went back, took it, failed it. Went back, took it, failed it. The third time, guess what, y'all? I never told this. You had to have a 700 to pass it. Guess what y'all brother had?
A 700.
A 701. Barely graduated, y'all. So I'm not being dishonest about my story. And because I thought college was a Ponzi scheme. College, I ain't going to no college. This girl told me, she said, Derek, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, and I don't want to outgrow you. Ooh. The woman you love just told you, Derek, what you gonna do with your life, boy? Because I don't want to outgrow you.
We were dating. We were just dating at this
time. And we were dating, doing our thing. She said, Derek, man, you got to hustle and you got a job, and that's great, bro. But what you gonna do with yourself? Derek, I work around doctors, surgeons, high clergy people. In other words, in a very nice tone, Derek, how can I take you around these people and you can't even be a part of the conversation?
And we had this conversation.
Some men would have got offended.
We had this
broke up, thought about it, but I said, "Ooh, that do make sense. I don't want to be a dummy around Shay. Shay is and I love this girl. I do whatever it takes to keep her." I allowed her to trick me to go to that school. And I use that as a joke. We drove to the school, y'all. And make a long story short, when we got back in the car, I said, Shay, did that lady say I start October 29th?
You remember the date.
Huh? Derek, I'm going to help you every day. Derek, you just come home and we'll do it together. That joker helped me for 2 days, y'all, and she disappeared the other 3.5 years.
Ask him why.
But she was also in school too at the same time getting a master's. So But she told me she was gonna help me, y'all. She wanted to show me, Derek, you can do this, bro. Your potential outweighs your fear of getting in it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a t-shirt.
That is a whole t-shirt.
Your potential is outweighing your fear of getting in it. Tiffany, somebody gonna miss that.
Put it in the chat.
Did my mama hear that one?
Because
it just roll off. Tiffany Walker, somebody gonna miss that. Katara, I know Katara called it. Even if Tiffany missed it, Katara got that one. Y'all potential outweighs that fear that you got in you. It's bigger than that. Oh, somebody gonna miss that. Lord have mercy. Oh, wow. Lord. They got my mom in the chat now. I see my Forsten in the chat now.
Listen, and sometimes you've got to make sure, and this is why it's so important to surround yourself with the right people, right? You got to be around people that can push you and pull you into your purpose, not people that will deter you from your purpose. I see you. We both been doing it. So I think we making Ronald, we making you proud.
Make sure Ron can see me peeking now. Miss Kathy, you see me peeking?
Can't stand it.
Now my peak ain't that long. I got some short, stubby fingers now.
He get it from his mama. I love you, Mom.
They gave me my mama hands, y'all. My dad didn't have nothing to do with my hands. They pick on me, y'all. That's a small joke.
Yeah. If you ever see me in Derek's hand, look, Derek, let's show him.
No, I ain't. No, I ain't. Look.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's get back in the chat. Let's take some questions.
Let's get back.
And thank y'all for allowing me and Shay to just pour into y'all and just kind of be open and transparent. I've told that story of me barely graduating high school thousands of times, y'all, but I've never told people the route of it. So if you're on TikTok, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, you heard for the first time that entire story of how I almost gave up on it. And my mama said, the devil is a liar, boy. You're going to give me a high school diploma if you do nothing else. So when I went to college, y'all, and finished, my mom was elated because that was not expected from me. Not even from me.
And the funny thing,
and my mom also didn't expect that. And my dad, if he could have got a chance to see it, he would have absolutely been proud of that because he also wanted better for me in my life. My dad had a hard job. So he always spoke of, I don't want you boys working outside. I want y'all carrying a briefcase. That was my dad's way of saying, go corporate America or own your own business. He didn't know how to say it. So my daddy's way of saying it was, hey, boy, Derek, knucklehead, I don't want you working outside like me getting dark, scars and bruises and burns. And my daddy got more burns or had more burns and bruises on his leg than most of y'all had in y'all whole life. Mom, if I'm lying, tell the people in the chat. My daddy was his own doctor on most of his wounds. But anyway, he always said, son, I don't want you working outside. You carry a briefcase when it's your time to get into labor. That was my dad's way of saying, start your own business or get into corporate America. Make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
All right, back on you, Miss Shay.
Y'all.
In fact, on that note, let's just take a real quick commercial break. Also, don't forget, if you love this and this is cool to you, make sure you follow Shay and I. Subscribe here, follow me on TikTok, be my friend on Facebook at Derek Forsten, and everywhere at Forsten Consultants. Follow Shay's music page. She's a songbird. I just like to sing. I can't sing a lick. Shay is an actual artist, songwriter. She produces music and she writes it, all of that. Latest song is called Sent from Heaven. If you type that in, she's the only one with a difficult name that says Shania Shay. We love her name. We just tease her about it. She's the only one, so it's easy to find. It's called Sent from Heaven. I always encourage people on Saturdays to download it and listen to it Sunday morning before you go to church. But also during the day and before you join our live on Monday at 7, and then come back and give Shay feedback of what you thought about it. Okay? Yeah. Sent from Heaven on Apple iTunes and everywhere else. Shania Shay Forsten, Sent from Heaven. Miss Shay?
And the fun thing is I surprised everybody that got the replay. So those of you that got access to the replay, you should have gotten it yesterday because I gave direction for you all to get it in your portal. It's actually a part of the course. So check it out. The replay from the 3-day event, it's a part of that. So I was able to do some.
Read what Tiffany said right there. Now, this is the lady that spoke day 3 at our ILF challenge, right? Tiffany Walker, but read that. Now, Tiffany does 1,000 things, but read this one where she said that she failed multiple times before it happened.
Yep.
And like she said, Tiffany, me too. When I come past that HSCT, I was devastated because all my friends had it, right? It was me and two buddies, football guys. But all my other buddies, they all passed it and celebrating and all that. Like, watch this, guys. And if some of my buddies are watching it, they'll hear the truth. In over 20, I graduated in 2000, 25 years. Here's the truth that I didn't tell my friends. The night of graduation, y'all, way back in the day, there was this club called Ben Lee. We don't club no more, but just work with me. Mom Forster, remember Ben Lee? 25 years ago when we graduated, it was cultural and it was traditional for everybody to go to Ben Lee. Guys, guess who didn't go to Ben Lee that night? Because I wasn't so happy like everybody else. I had that rolled up piece of paper, and guess what? Nobody kind of knew it wasn't the real thing because everybody got that little scroll that night. Remember, if you remember, guys, they mailed you your diploma depending on when however long you've been out of school. I graduated in 2000. So back in my day, that sounds weird, right?
Ooh, don't do that.
You got that scroll the day of, but they mailed you the actual diploma. Guys, I didn't go to Ben Lee that night. I was embarrassed. I was heartbroken. Tiffany used a better word that said devastated. Tiffany, I was devastated. I couldn't even party with my friends. And guess what? I made an excuse to go do something else, but I told my friends it was because of that. God, the truth was I was embarrassed and I didn't feel so excited about it. So Tiffany, thank you for sharing that. And again, guys, let me give y'all one of my quotes I love to live by. And if you've seen Baby Derek talking about it, you've heard it this week on my page. Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do.
Yeah.
One more time, Shay. Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to act on. And for most of y'all, it's to help people, serve him, of course, but also get involved in this real estate game to create generational wealth for your family. And the cool part about it, you can merge all of this together. And that's what makes it a ministry. The love of God, social services, and real estate all mixed together.
Absolutely.
Michelle, let's take some questions.
Yeah, so someone asked about the coaching. So give me a second. Let me.
I saw that actually. It was about the DIY, right? So let me jump to our coaching, which we probably don't even talk about enough because a lot of y'all just get it because you know it's worth it. But I got three forms of coaching. One you're hearing right now. Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday, live on YouTube. Monday and Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, Shay and I right here, right? And over 800 videos on our YouTube channel. Not a question you can think of that's not in the video form. But if you say, no, Derek, I want that one-on-one coaching, bro, I want you to hold my hand. That's called the ILF Mastery Blueprint. That's the one-on-one coaching. That comes with so much stuff, I can hardly name it all. But just know that the whole year for 2025, it's on sale. It's normally $7,500, but for 2025 until January 1st, it's only $4,997. That's $3 away from $5,000, and we cover the tax. The one-on-one coaching, $8,000 worth of paperwork, because when I got a lawsuit many years ago and made the Channel 8 news in the wrong way, when my lawyer built that paperwork that serves us today, I give it to y'all. So I'm really good at telling you guys that I don't sell products and paperwork and none of that stuff. I sell transformation. I'm the guy you come to when you say, Derek, I'm tired of life and I'm ready to change it. Between God and me, we gonna change your life. That's why I say the coaching is what you're paying for. The website build out, that's on me. Give it to you complimentary. All that paperwork, that's on me. Give it to you complimentary. Every ebook I've ever written, that's on me. Get it complimentary. The virtual assistant service, your logo, everything you can think of that you need for this business, we give it to you. You don't come to me and then go to the outside to find a website, to find a business phone, to get a logo, to get a CRM system, to get your paperwork, to get your legal documents. You get it all from us. Right. For only $4,997. Yeah. The DIY is the do-it-yourself version. And what's cool about it, you get everything that I just named, you just don't get me. So I tell people that you choose my coaching package according to your style of learning. Yeah. If you say, Doug, I can read, I can watch videos. I can join YouTube 3 days a week, bro. I don't need your one-on-one coaching. But Derek, do build my website. Give me all that paperwork. Build my CRM. Derek, give me all that coaching, that MSI group coaching. Derek, give me all of that. And I can figure it out on my own because I'll keep coming to YouTube, Derek. That's the DIY for $497. It's a no-brainer. This time last year, that was $4,500.
I think she asked in the question because I'm losing, looks like the things are disappearing. It's not giving us the full history of the chat. But it looks like she was also asking, like, is it step-by-step to where someone can walk away?
Absolutely. We got a family here right now that only bought the DIY. Shout me out, Dr. Jordan, if you're here. Dr. Jordan told us that she bought the DIY less than 35 days ago. Mm-hmm. She's on property number 2. Yeah. That tells me she's smart. She's focused. Because watch this. Here's a statistic that goes over the whole world. You know, 80% of courses that are bought are never opened. Let's say that real slowly again. 80% of courses that people buy, they never even open the email. Guess how we know? Because we track some of y'all. Watch this. 84 y'all that bought that DIY last month, over 84 y'all bought it. And I'm going to be real easy on these numbers. I'll just say we found over 15 of y'all that's never even opened it.
Haven't visited the login.
Why is that actually? I have no clue. If you say God put this on your heart, you saw the opportunity, you made the purchase, you invested in yourself. Congratulations. But why is the product not even open? Wow.
Because it tells us, like, we know
don't let that be you. Talk about how that system shows you.
Our system shows us how many times you've logged into the system. It shows us how many, it shows us your progress in the course. It even shows, like, we can even see from your profile how often you're even maneuvering around the platform. So I can see if you accessed your portal. I can see your recent activity. It's not intrusive, but it can be for what we do. And it's perfect for a consultant. It's perfect for any entrepreneur or business owner to be able to have that information on how people are utilizing your information, right? Your platform, your website, and all that good stuff. So we can see all of that, but it is a sad statistic.
It's very sad. So I'm gonna rattle off a few of these questions. Miss Belinda Joseph says, and I teach on this all the time, so I can tell that you're new to me. Miss Joseph, this is what caused me a $40,000 lawsuit. Do not put your name on that lease. Nobody's writing Miss Belinda Joseph any checks. They're going to write that check to Joseph Enterprise or B&J Solutions. See how I just gave you your name, right? So we do not put your name on the lease. No. We're going to use our business name. Next question is, do we have any ILFs in Chesapeake, Virginia? Our coaching is actually in 39 states. So yes, we have people in Virginia. Now that part specifically, I can't remember right now, but our coaching, ladies and gentlemen, is right now in 39 states where we have active students, or that I call family members, right? So yes.
Next question. On the screen. How long does it take to be operational? Depends on the individual, right? The thing that's the most time consuming in this process is allocating the property. Some people it takes a couple of weeks, some people it takes a couple of months. It just depends on how you are networking or your yes, right? When you get that yes. Now, if you own the property, a little bit different. Like Derek said, what's the last name? Because she was in the room the other day.
Dr. Jordan.
Dr. Jordan, less than a month, going on to property number 2. So
I'll be honest, I can't remember if she bought or rented. I can't remember right now, but that's fine. I can't remember if she rents or bought, but she's under my DIY coaching. And again, that don't involve me at all. It's just a bunch of videos of me. So what's cool of that DIY, you get the same coaching as my one-on-one people. It's just in a video format. Yeah. But like we told the people during the ILF challenge, there is nothing like being able to call the coach
and say, hey, coach.
Hey, coach, I'm on video 13. What in the world did you mean by that when you said that?
Yeah, right.
Right. So, but again, that's why I say it's according to your learning style. Dr. Jordan says, Derek, I don't need you, bro. Yeah. Like, in fact, she said this DIY is so good. Her opinion is, why should she buy the one-on-one coaching? Yeah. But I told you 10 minutes ago that, watch this, my learning style, even me, I don't want your videos and your DIY. Because I'm a little bit of a knucklehead myself. I need to be told things over and over and over. But boy, once I got it, you can't take it from me. So that's my learning style. So I'll admit every coaching I get, and we take a lot of coaching. Guys, I get the one-on-one. I don't play around with the, like, I want to be able to call the guy or the lady that's doing the thing. Because as I told you all, and not as a threat, but there will be no one-on-one coaching probably in 2026.
Correct.
Right? So anybody that's under my coaching, you still get it. I'm still your big brother. But we'll probably go to more of a group coaching style because God is just blessing us so much. I won't be able to handle it all. I'm going to just be honest. Some people will try to stay in it, but do y'all a disservice. My coaching is so great and so 1,000 that I don't want to water it down. So all of 2025, you can join it. But in 2026, you're going to be in a group cohort. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just don't get my phone number and you call me anytime. Like, all of that stuff's over with.
Yeah.
Like, my people right now could just call me randomly Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, 10 times a day. Who does that? Nobody. Me. Right? So my coaching, guys, in a way, and again, it ain't because I'm so great. It's because the God in us and all those dumb mistakes I went through to get it just perfect.
Yeah.
And that's why our coaching is so powerful because, again, all the mistakes. And does the DIY expire? No. No, it's yours. Once you buy it, you can have it. Yeah, it's yours.
If you lose your login, just reset the password.
It is absolutely yours. And again, like the reason why 84 people bought the DIY last month, y'all, I'll be honest, because last year, this time, that DIY was $4,500 and it's worth every penny. And I just told y'all all year long it's on sale. Both the DIY and the one-on-one. Okay. And we answered that one already.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay.
In the business name.
Gotcha.
And if I'm answering your questions, let me know in the chat if I nailed it. If I missed it, let me know. And yes, G Love, the VA also comes with the DIY. And I bless y'all so much. Watch this. If you go to my VA 101 website right now, in fact, 5 of y'all do it. Go to va101.co. You will see that one virtual assistant costs $797. Guys, the DIY product is only $497, and I give you the VA. Can somebody say no brainer?
You pay their fees, right? Now you're going to pay them because they don't work for free. I'm sorry. I pay enough VAs.
They got families too, right? So the VAs are $135 a week for the 4 hours a day. But again, guys, to get that service from my website is $797 for one VA for us to vet, train, and endorse that VA to you. But I love my coaching students so much that I give it to y'all complimentary. You just now owe the VA that weekly fee to pay them. And that's $135 a week for 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday.
All of our coaching packages include the virtual assistant, the CRM and website. They all come with it.
Yep. Next question. Let's ramble them off. I love questions, guys. Keep them coming.
Here we go.
When naming your business, what words should you avoid using? Ooh, so you're either super new to me or if you've just no. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is that the same Kelly Brown from the 3-Day Challenge? We talked about that, remember? Never use the word home or housing. Never use the word real estate, investment, crypto, none of that stuff. Remember our favorite names? And now that's a different Kelly. Take some free coaching here, right? We use the words enterprise. So here's some great coaching. My name for my program is called Second Chance Housing. That was dumb. I didn't know that 8 years ago. Today, what I know, my name should have been Second Chance Solutions, Second Chance Enterprise, Second Chance Foundation, Second Chance Project, Second Chance Group, Second Chance. See, I can go on and on, guys. Second Chance Initiative, Second Chance Church. Anything but house.
You ain't no church. Don't do that.
Anything but home. Anything but living.
Well, you
make sense, ma'am? Let me know in the chat if that made sense. Don't use those words. And prices for what you mean, Mr. Mills?
You're coaching.
We just said it actually. So unless that's late and I just saw it,
answer it again.
I love it. The one-on-one coaching is $5,000. The DIY is $500. And that's at forstedconsultants.com. Oh, and also, I want to bless y'all with something that I bless my ILF family with. Watch this, y'all, really quietly. and I'm going to say this one time because it's a blessing. One time. The ILF Challenge people got an opportunity to get the ILF Mastery Blueprint for $1,000 off. Mm-hmm. Who would want that right now? I'm going to say this one time. If you go to forsterconsultants.com and act like you're going to buy it, click on it. The ILF Mastery Blueprint. If you want $1,000 off of that $4,997, which is an absolute cheat code.
Challenge friendly, huh?
You guys can text the word now in the coupon code box and it will immediately drop at $1,000. Now, I gave my ILF people, the challenge people, 7 days. So you guys actually got, I think, two or 3 days left to do that. Right. I think 3 days left. So if you want the ILF Mastery Blueprint, you want what I'm going to call a scholarship for $1,000, enter the word now, N-O-W, in the coupon box. That's that coupon code, the word now, it'll give an instant $1,000 off. You guys got 3 days on that, on me.
Qatar said me.
Okay.
Qatar, stop being messy.
You already in it.
I told Qatar he's still in. This is why he has to do another one. This is why I'm going to have dates out probably by the end of next week for the next challenge. We're going to go ahead and do another one so I can get all that I need from that. And it'll probably be something that's done consistently, but we're going to do it.
Yeah, we're kind of playing around with the dates of August, just not quite sure because we're being pulled in a lot of different directions. And the production side of the way Shay wants to do it, it's going to take a lot more thought. So it may not happen until probably August or July-ish, maybe. Wait, June, July, August. Right, August, yeah. Yeah. Haven, a lot of Havens are under us, so no problem. White Singletary Haven. Also put in the chat, where are you guys located? Miss Singletary, where are you located?
Earl and Jen, can I set up as a C Corp?
Absolutely. C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit.
This is what my accountant would ask you. How would you like to be taxed? That's the question that you're going to ask. That's a personal preference right there. How would you like to be taxed? And that's how you'll look at that from a tax standpoint, a taxation standpoint.
What Qatar saying about me in the chat? I must have missed something. What Qatar saying?
I say you still operating with the challenge on your mind. You just giving away all.
Yeah, she put, okay, I stopped.
Yes. So Tracy, we do. So when you go to checkout, we do offer financing. We have Klarna Afterpay in our checkout process. So if you go and act like you're gonna purchase,
one lady did it. No, code. I think two people use the financing. Got approved like pay for it immediately.
If you do use financing, the only thing that we need from you is your address on file with us. So we have to have you in our system. So first name, last name, and the address that you'll be utilizing for both the financing. We have to have that exact address on file. So if that is something that you're interested in doing, Derek, we need to talk about that a lot more. We do have financing options with Klarna and Afterpay. Okay. And if I don't know if people did this, but I know that Goldman Sachs with Apple Pay had a pay like a thing too. And we already, what is it? It's like split payments. We are enrolled in that as well, but you would have to do that through your Apple Wallet somehow, some way. Don't ask me how to do it. I just know it was available, so I clicked yes, we accept. So just
but that Klarna and Afterpay are offered right there at checkout. So again, guys, leverage somebody else's money to do this. The great part about it, they pay us all up front. You just make their monthly payments, right? So the next question says, how much money should I have in order to get the house? So the way that we tell people is that if you're going to rent it or lease it, imagine your rent times 2. Yeah. And also whatever it'll cost you to turn on your utilities. That's going to be kind of what I'm going to call your largest amount of money that you're going to spend. Is your first, last, and security. Hopefully they only charge you first in security. And then back in the day when I turned on my lights and water, my credit was so bad, they charged me $350 for both. And then I teach under my coach, I teach you how to get the furniture for free, how to get donations and stuff. But the largest amount of your money to start this business, y'all, is going to be the actual property, the lease, or the rent. And then again, you can pay for our coaching with financing. So I don't even include my coaching in that. And again, that's just going to be your coaching and training. And again, this year will be the last year you will ever hear me say that your coaching is locked in for life. All of that changes next year. For the last 7 years, anybody under my coaching, they get my phone number. They can call me Monday through Friday. They still have set sessions every 2 weeks. Like the availability is crazy. And I'll admit, right?
Somebody asked us during the challenge, Derek, do you have a 30-hour day?
She said, Derek, how can you, and y'all, 7 days a week takes up most of my life with talking to people. Now, obviously for y'all, it's Monday through Friday. But still, usually 5 to 7 days a week, y'all, I'm somewhere running my big mouth. So that's all changing next year. So anybody that gets the one-on-one coaching now, you still get all of those benefits. But my one-on-one coaching in 2026, guys, I'll admit it's going to look a lot different. So just make sure that you guys get in. I've been doing it this way for over 7 years. In 2026, make 8 years. So 7 for us is completion. Yeah. Right? Yep. 7 is also a number that Shay and I stand on, and we got married at that number. So essentially, I gave 7 years of my life, giving my life away to this in my time. It's going to have a version of this, but it's going to be nothing like the one-on-one coaching is now, especially the price, right? So the one-on-one coaching next year will start at 10 grand. Right. But again, it's going to be just very different of what it looks like with even the availability, because God is just blessing us so much. And that's a good thing, guys. It's not a bad thing. Right. Because trust me, some of my coaches think I'm an idiot for giving y'all my number and having y'all call me 5 days a week and all that. But that's just what I vowed to. So never mind that. But I'll admit in year 8, because I'm sure the year 8 also means something else too, that we need to move on to get bigger and better, to be able to spread this message wider and further. And that's going to be in group settings now. But again, if you take the one-on-one coaching now to December 31st of this year, you still going to be locked into the way that I've done it for 7 years. Okay. Back on you, Miss Shay.
Sorry, that question just threw me off. I had got a message come into the CR.
Miss Singletary, we have people that actually do that, especially at times like when we do that sale. Prime example, it would be very smart of you to do it with the $1,000 scholarship that I just gave you today. Right. So if you're not ready now, but still want the coaching, please do that.
Like right now, we have a gentleman. Yeah. Let me show you how God blesses. We had a gentleman when Derek got ill in the hospital. He paid for the coaching. This was years ago. And he started another venture, and he says, listen, I want Derek to heal. I know y'all aren't going anywhere. He says, I know this is what God has for me. He's locked in. He has yet to start the coaching, but he checks in once a year to say, hey, am I still good? Absolutely. Yep. Remember that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was a blessing. Yeah. He paid right after Derek got
my whole stomach is cut open.
And I told him, I said,
invoices coming in, people still paying rent. Like God was good to us during that whole time. Yeah. So, and that's the importance of having a business like this, though, that even though I was down and out, my business kept running.
Correct.
Most of y'all that have jobs, if you go down and out, you don't have anything to fall back on. Some of us got PTO or that sick leave stuff. But what if you had a business or a ministry that still ran without you when you were down and out or just on vacation? Ain't always about being down and out, Shay. Do we take vacation and our team still runs everything?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for our new people that don't know us, when I say team, those are virtual assistants from the Philippines. So these are remote workers that, again, guys, for $5 an hour, they can run your entire business. Yeah. And we give y'all that with either one of my coaching. Back on you, Ms. Shay, for questions.
All right. So, we just put in what you will see for those of you that have signed up or are thinking about signing up is we do have a 6-month clause on our contract. And that's for the person that's going to drag the heels.
Is it 6 or 12? I think it's 12.
It is 12.
It's 12.
Sorry. I'm saying 6 months. Where am I getting 6 months from?
The old one.
I need to
but that's going back to that too next year. So like, again, all of that changes.
No, I need to make sure I review that because I think I saw something the other day that might be. But yeah, so we do that just to make sure that we're doing our part. Now, we can't help if you don't do your part, right? So, and the thing is, if we do our part and we see that in that 12-month period that you're not consistent in coaching, you're not someone that's effectively putting your hand to the plow, we can say, hey, listen, we did our part. Like, so just know that we do have that clause in there as well.
Yep.
Miss Singletary asks, what additional services do you provide or offer along with your ILF to make it more appealing to the public since you are working with people in need?
We specialize in teaching you to just specialize in housing. Housing is going to be enough all by itself. Now, obviously, we will talk about some things that we've added and that we do, but I don't teach all that, right? Not in the beginning.
No.
I want you to focus on housing. People are a trip. So I want you to master the art of housing. And then, like, if I had my other slides show up today, I'll be showing you pictures of how we do spa days, makeup days, manis and pedicures, haircut days, all of these other things. But starting out, we just want you to specialize in housing. Right. So we don't really believe in adding a bunch of stuff to this. We believe in being a team player. Our job is housing. The case manager's job is the case manage. The social worker job is the social work. The doctor and psychiatrist controls their mental health in terms of keeping them stable. So you just play your role. Right. And then when you get real good at it and God start blessing you, when you start branching it, I added a clothing closet. What does that mean? I just took every t-shirt, every pair of pants, and every pair of shoes that I don't wear now for the past 2 years that just collect dust in my closet, like all of y'all women do. Right now, women, here's your homework. And some of y'all guys, but mostly women, y'all got 15 shirts and 13 pair of pants that you ain't wore in 2 years. That's your clothing closet for these women you're going to be housing now. Yeah. Get rid of that stuff and make room for your shopping spree that you're going to go on when God bless this business. Yeah. Make sense, everybody? I added a food pantry. How did I do that? I partnered with my church because they get grocery 5 days a week, so my tenants can also get it. See that these are the things that I added. I also added my guys being able to get jobs and work. I started a whole business, ma'am, called Power Stream Solutions, where I'm teaching military veterans how to pressure wash driveways, how to detail cars. Go look on my social media. I show it. I built that business solely for my tenants. Because guess what I'm praying for now? But I'm going to hire me a coach because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to find somebody to get me contracts for pressure washing. Your coach going to hire a coach.
Yes, absolutely.
They going to charge a bunch of money, I'm sure, because I want them to do it, basically, and set it up. Because I just want them to set it up to a point where I just get the calls or the contracts. Because I want to be able to employ these military veterans, these ex-police, these ex-homeless individuals that are able-bodied and strong and want something to do. They want a job. On my mission board, that's over Shay's left shoulder that you can't see right now, because I said, Shay, this studio is beautiful. Don't put my mission board in it because it's going to look tacky. But guess what's on that board over Shay's left shoulder right now? God, I want to house people, but God, I want to give them jobs. Because if I don't give them jobs, God, they're going to steal. If a man don't work, he don't eat. Yeah. He also going to steal if that happens. And again, if you're on TikTok, please come to the YouTube channel. You just seeing me. I'm boring. Come and see my beautiful wife too. If you on TikTok, because we getting ready to close anyway, come to Forston Consultants, ma'am. I see a lady putting a lot of things in the chat. You're very excited. Come to our YouTube channel at Forston Consultants. Now, we're going to be going in probably less than 10 minutes, but still come over and join us in the chat there.
Yeah, or DM your questions too, because we're unable to access those questions on TikTok. Also, we have it set up.
I'm getting ready to give out a phone number, but TikTok, if I do this too much, they'll kick me off of TikTok. So I'm gonna say this one time because I'm still live on YouTube. YouTube don't care, but TikTok, you guys got one time to catch this. If you want to know how you can leave your job this year and possibly resign 3 to 6 months of meeting me today, and you and I both going to sing it together, and we're going to give God credit. We ain't going to take no credit. God is going to allow you to leave your job through real estate and helping people. We call these independent living facilities, which is a shared environment where adults, not children, not the husband and wife, not the boo thing and the boyfriend, but the single guy or the single girl. They can be from 18 to 118. Doesn't matter. And we take them from homeless to hopeful, but they must have a guaranteed income. So either Walmart, Winn-Dixie, Publix, Burger King, Sonny's Barbecue. He can be a substitute school teacher. He can be the prison guard. Anything with a guaranteed income, those are the people we help. This does not require a license. You don't have to own the property. And can you imagine doing God's will, helping people, but also being the answer to affordable housing in your city? Type the word me in the chat if you can imagine that for you and your family. Because, guys, I dreamed of this for years before we stumbled upon it. And God was like, Derek, look at your dream. This is what you want to do. Look at how this girl doing it. This the wrong way. LaTanya, join us on YouTube. Everybody come to YouTube at Forston Consultants right now. So that's all we did was we took a bad concept. This wasn't my idea. I just wanted to help people and get into real estate.
And do it right.
God was genius. So they say, Derek, here go away, bro. This girl also helping people apparently seem like, but Derek, she doing it the wrong way. And I want you to get it, bro, because you will show other people. And that's why Shay and I are coaching this now in 39 states. Somebody type in the chat, I'm next. If you're next and you're going to get this coaching, especially if you're going to get that $1,000 scholarship, text in the chat, I'm next. If you're considering getting the ILF Mastery Blueprint and allow Shay and I to take you from where you are to where God has called you to be. And remember, Shay and I are not going to take credit for it because we just smart enough to say we're going to give God all the credit, all the glory, all the honor, all the praise while he allow you and your family to benefit from it. Come on, Lord, have mercy. That's powerful to me.
That's powerful.
Give God all the credit, but God don't need the benefits. He gonna let you benefit from it. Your houses, your cars, your impact, your financial status, your relationships.
Hey, listen.
Did anybody type I'm next? Or is it just me and Shay that wanted to change our life?
Derek,
let me check the chat.
I got them coming. You ain't looking.
Earl and Jen say we next. Miss Singletary say I'm next. Latasha says, Latasha Tracy both say I'm next at the same time. LaTonya says I'm next. That's what I'm talking about. And I'll be honest, get in now when you get this $1,000 scholarship. I'm going to let that go for probably 3 days, y'all. In fact, my team, if you're listening, 3 days, that's done. Remember, we just want to be a blessing. Oh, it's set already. Yep, perfect.
It's already set.
So you guys are actually getting the overflow blessing from my 3-day challenge. Only they were supposed to get that, but I'm such a nice guy. I just help people.
Challenge on the brain, y'all.
So I love you guys like a fat kid loves cake. Make sure y'all join us Monday. And please, guys, when I end this chat today, make sure that I see 55 friend requests. I want to see all y'all requesting to be my friend. And I told you, Shay, I'm going to make sure to say, won't you be my friend? Remember that show, Mr. Rogers?
Would you be my neighbor?
Would you be my neighbor? Won't you be my friend? But more important than being my friend, go and look at the lives that we're changing and envision yourself and your family in it.
Yeah. Soak
up that free content that I'm giving you. Because some of you guys just need the seed to be planted, which was today for a lot of y'all. Last thing, and I'm going to go. There's this saying that I used to be so proud of, y'all. And some people still use it, which says, we got it from the mud. Let's get it from the mud. Guys, today that is dumb to me. But I used to be so proud of that because that means to me, I got into this and nobody taught me. It was God and I. Man, the devil is a liar. Forget that. Not the God and I part, but watch this. Why get it from the mud when they can get it from the garden, from the seeds that Shay and I are planting every day? Oh, somebody gonna miss that, Shay. Miss Singletary, did you catch that? Because somebody else gonna miss that.
Yeah.
Singletary family, did you guys catch that? No more getting it from the mud. Those days are over with.
Get it from a coach.
Somebody type in the chat, let's get it from the garden. Derek already dropped the seeds, y'all. Like, Shay, does that make sense? Or do this sound so like poemish?
So it's no.
Why get it from the mud when we can get it from the garden?
You not only dropped the seeds, but you've tended the garden. You've toiled the land. You've did all of those things.
Tend to the land.
You've already you've done everything. The fruit's already on the tree.
Lord have mercy, Shay. Lord have mercy.
Drink from the
I got something in this thing I want to put. Actually, just one or two things, right? Mm-hmm. Actually, maybe be one. Somebody's thinking right now, Derek, am I made for this? Is my background for it? And I'm going to say it like this, and I won't go through all 12 of those guys, but when Jesus used those 12 disciples, all of those guys were a hot mess, but they changed the world together.
You bringing your Bible study into this?
A little bit. But somebody's thinking, Shay, that they're not made for or they don't have what it takes or their past won't allow them to get into it. Yeah. There's a guy in the book, in this good book, and all y'all heard of him, his name is David. David was a knucklehead, y'all, in terms of what I see. But guys, he was known for a guy to be after God's own heart. That's what you know him most for. But if you dig real deep in that Bible, it talks about he killed somebody to sleep with their wife. Guys, the Bible is an absolute drama story if you've ever read it. Now, I'll admit, I ain't gonna lie to y'all and say I read my Bible every day. But I'm that guy that look for those gems and things to be pulled out in terms of my coaching, because I get fed on Sundays at church and during the week. When I talk to y'all, I usually just want to drop a gem. Somebody think, well, Derek, am I made for this?
Don't forget your YouTube folks, because you're spending all your time.
One more time is that David had the heart for God after it's God's own heart. But in terms of what I know, Shay, he killed a man just to sleep with his wife.
Yeah, he did that.
Peter denied Jesus over and over and over. And God spoke about that guy, upon this rock, I build my church. He was talking about Peter, I think. Yeah. Now, if I'm wrong, Tiffany gonna tell me, because Tiffany more on her Bible than probably me. Tiffany, am I right about that? Your boy Paul, who turned to Saul, he killed Christians, but wrote a bunch of the Bible that we read today.
Yep.
Lord have mercy, but became the greatest missionary and wrote most of the New Testament. That's just some notes that I had, y'all, because Shay bought me an iPad. Now, looking for y'all, if I didn't have this iPad, I couldn't have told you that today, but I got an iPad now, so I got notes in it. So if you thought you weren't ready, Peter denied Jesus and God built a church on him.
Come over here. Spend some time in
David, say, Shay, what's good about that, and you don't know it, is wide angle. So no matter where I'm at, I'm always on that one. Even though I'm looking here with, which I gave them no time, they still catch me here because it's wide.
I just want to make sure YouTube ain't being left out.
Because I'm not really even, you know what I mean? So it's got me everywhere. Y'all, we got so many cameras in here, y'all. It's a TV here, it's a TV here, it's a camera here, lights everywhere. But I just wanted to say that again, because some of y'all thinking that maybe, am I built for this? Absolutely. Man, the guys that Jesus used, them 12 disciples, they all was a hot mess in their own way. But God used those people to change the world. And I'll land the plane there. I would love to see some of you guys do what we call move at the speed of instruction or move at the speed of revelation. For some of y'all, you've been praying for something just like this. So what are we waiting on, right? You've heard this message. And hopefully if you're real smart, you go soak up a lot of my content and verify that I am who I say I am. Don't just trust me from this one call. You should also watch our webinar by texting the phrase more info. I want everybody to do this right now. If you haven't already, Earl and Jen, text these two words, more info, MOREINFO, to the phone number 407-326-0086. That's the last time I'll say it, because if I repeat that, TikTok gonna kick me off, and we're streaming live there. So on YouTube, on the bottom screen, I'm giving y'all the prompt.
Correct.
That's gonna give y'all my masterclass. Then, because I'm such a nice guy, I give you a free phone call with me to answer all your questions. But if you're real smart, you soak up a lot of the information on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok before your call, because more than likely it's going to be answered in one of those videos. And now me and your call go a lot deeper now.
Right.
So I love for the strategy calls to go deep. Don't get me on the phone and say, Derek, do I need a license to do this? Guys, I got that on 1,000 videos. Don't ask that. Derek, do I got to be a nurse to do this? Like, guys, don't ask me what's in that video. Ask me deeper stuff. The stuff that you need to quit your job or resign from your job, ask me that stuff. How do I make money, Derek, and scale and grow? Ask me that stuff. So other than that, my last announcement, if you guys want the ILF Mastery Blueprint and you want a $1,000 scholarship, if you go to forsterconsultants.com right now, as if you're going to buy it, right there at checkout, guys, just put in the coupon code box the word NOW, N-O-W. That's going to last for 3 days and it's over with. I'm giving a $1,000 scholarship to everybody that hears this. Other than that, I want my team to take this down tomorrow probably, because I want to be a blessing to who's here and who's present. And people that move at the speed of instruction, and the people that type in the chat, I'm next. Because I only ask for that if you said I want that coaching. Not theoretically I want to be next. Derek, I'm going to invest in myself and swipe that card because I'm going to be next. Because $5,000, Derek, is pennies for what you coaching me. Because from what I heard, Derek, if I get 2 houses, I can leave my job. How many of y'all right now will spend $5,000 to leave your job? That's how you view that. One house can make $3 or $4,000 a month profit. So you essentially make back what you paid me in 2 months. That's why my coaching is so low and it's really not priced right. My coaches teach me Derek, why do you sell that thing for $5,000, bro? And you change the people's lives with it, and they make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, some $5,000 a month. People leaving their job. I've ignored my coach on that, y'all, for 7 years. Yeah. This is the last year that I'll ignore my coach because that's actually bad coaching, y'all, and I'll admit. And I'll be honest to tell y'all, I should be following what he's saying. But I want to be such a blessing to y'all that I've been that thing.
My thing is when God has told you to do something, you're very obedient in that.
Absolutely. That's why we're so blessed. But guess what God is also telling me, Derek, time to move on, bro. You've given the word, you've given the notion. It's time for the people to take action now. Because guess who's going to be here every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday for free? Me. So I got something for everybody. I got free coaching. I got DIY coaching that don't involve me. But I also got this one-on-one coaching that can change your life. And if you and I are real smart, we're going to thank God together and give God the credit. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm going to let Shay bless you guys. Let them know about your course. Anything new you got coming up, and how can they find you on social media, Shay?
Yeah, so you can follow me on social media at all of our platforms. So for the nonprofit, it's Angela Denise Foundation on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So definitely connect with us, see what we're doing, see what our team has got going on, see what our housing, things that we have coming up in the near future, like our Ladies Spa Day is getting ready to take full course, right? So we're going to be putting our hands to the plow to raise funds for that. And if you want to be a part of that fundraiser, just connect with the Angela Denise Foundation on all of its platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Also, for me, man, you can contact me at Shanya Shay. Can you put that in the chat for me? On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, I have those private personal pages as well.
Let me use my iPad, Shay. I can help y'all. Hold on.
The course. So I have decided, through a lot of questions and asking to help or to do so, I did it. Derek has persuaded me to do a course, Know Before You Go nonprofit. A lot of people want to make that decision or get more understanding and outlook on the nonprofit space. So I've put together a course that should be available in the next couple of weeks. It is completely done. We're just we're in the editing phase right now. So our team is just making it more aesthetically pleasing and adding it to our course platform, and it will be available for sale. Pricing, I'm still trying to concrete the pricing, but for our ILF Mastery Blueprint family members, we will be asking you all just to donate towards the course itself. Because you all usually get everything that we create free.
Prime example, that 3-day challenge, ILF Blueprint people, you don't know, but you guys get that for free. Correct. So what you guys, some of y'all do, but I want to just say it for the newer people. My ILF Mastery Blueprint family, Shay and I's family, you guys get everything we do other than events. Events are still a cost. Yeah, because any coaching, any curriculum that's newer, like prime example, a lot of my new people don't have my new ebook. You getting that next week coming up, and you don't pay for it. So Shay believes in spoiling our ILF Mastery Blueprint members. So y'all get everything. So whether you came to the challenge or not, you get that for free. We're going to give it to you. Well, I hate free, complimentary, because your coaching includes everything that we do. So congratulations. If you're an IMB member, look out for sometime, probably before Thursday of next week. You guys should probably have all 3 days. If not, my team will tell me because I don't want to rush them either. But remember what I told you that they're doing. They're putting it into kind of a course setting or module, if you will, so it's just easier for you guys to get it, watch it, and also keep it for yourself.
So the other thing I wanted to share, if that's that song that we were talking about, Derek, it is Don't Mind Waiting, and it's on William McDowell's Sounds of Revival album. Don't Mind Waiting. So for those of you that are,
if y'all want me to sing a little bit, just let me know and I can.
No. Absolutely not.
I'm so far from waiting. Is it that one?
No.
Oh, not that one.
I don't even know what are you
on you. Remember that one?
That's not it.
Got them here waiting.
Stop, Derek, please stop. Don't do that. You're going to make people leave.
I'm not moving.
Oh, I remember that. Those are the Binions. That's the Binions.
Hey, I'm about to do it, y'all.
Don't do it. That's the Binions.
They gonna let me sing one day, y'all. Right now, they try to keep me on the rope, but one day they gonna let me get this mic and they gonna let me do it, y'all.
And nobody will come back.
Shay won't put me in the studio. She won't put me on none of her songs.
I got y'all.
Can two of y'all in the chat say, Shay, put Derek on the song?
Because you said that
she today, won't let me, y'all.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do today for all of our ILFs.
She's such a perfectionist in the studio, y'all. She won't let me get in.
I'm gonna show y'all what I'm gonna do for the ILF Mastery Blueprint people. I'm gonna put your brother on blast. I'm gonna upload.
Somebody said, see, somebody said he actually can sing. See, come on, G-Love. G-Love, I'm so far from waiting. Trying to tell him, G-Love. Hey, I'm gonna blast G-Love because that's the first time the truth came out about my singing. Yes.
Okay. No.
Somebody said, "Walk in your gift, coaching." Boy, I thought Ronald was gonna have my back on that one.
Thank you.
Boy, Ronald gonna keep it real, ain't he, Shay? He ain't gonna sugarcoat it for us, ain't he?
Who was it? Was it Ronald that said?
Ronald was the one.
Tell
that story.
No, they told you. I got hearsay.
Ronald, I want to tell your story for 2 seconds, right? So, all you people that are contemplating the one-on-one coaching, Ronald was just like y'all, right? And Ronald started out, I think, with the DIY. They also upgraded later. Ronald told his wife, and they told me during my coaching, that first call, Ronald said, hey, babe, if Derek come on this call and he ain't that loud mouth and that exciting guy that we always know, we gonna cancel this whole thing. What was cool, y'all? He told me this 45 minutes into the coaching, so he had already experienced that. What you see on here is what you get on your coaching. He said, Derek, thank you, bro, because if you wasn't the guy that I see on YouTube, I don't know if I could have kept you as my coach. So, guys, let me tell y'all this real fast. I am this when I'm coaching you, right? Now, if you found me at a party or some other gathering, you'll be like, wow, that's Derek. He real quiet. But guys, if I'm talking about business or this, I'm just a loud, exciting guy. But she'll tell you sometimes, she have to tell me, boy, speak up, Derek. Like, like you know people here. Because if I'm somewhere to where we just ain't all out, but if they say, hey, everybody announce what you do in business. Oh, I perk up now. Because it gives me a chance to talk about what God did for my life and how we teach it all over the world, right? Hey guys, here's the Amazon man pulling up at my house again, so I'm trying to see what Shay don't order, y'all.
Hold on, let me check.
Hey,
I don't know.
Other than that, man, I just pray that you guys move at the speed of instruction. I'm probably gonna have my team remove this room. I want to bless the people that were just here, right? Usually, I can count on one hand how many times I've removed a room, probably 5 times ever. And that's just because the coaching was probably so crazily good that it tapped into my one-on-one coaching that, sometimes we have to move that stuff because people may not understand it or just run the wrong way with it, right? This is one of those rooms because of the blessing that I gave. I actually may remove this, but y'all should know that it lasts for 3 days. We're using that word now in the coupon code box.
It's not me. Amazon ain't for me. I just checked my account is empty. I think it's my baby girl. Remember, Tori comes today.
Oh, man. And also, man, big shout out again. I don't think Angela Brooks is here. And if she is, please shout me out in the chat, sis, because I haven't saw you today. But Tiffany Walker and Katara Johnson, man, you guys were an absolute gem to us. When I got the idea, no, she too, but I don't think she's here. Angela was actually the first call and person that I actually invited to it, and me and her did, and then I trickled it down to the other 3. But you guys is what really made that for me. And if you attended that challenge, comment in the chat and let me know what you think. But again, I jokingly say this, but I'm serious. Y'all hear me all the time. And it's one thing when you hear the coach talk about it. Well, that's Derek. It's easy for him. He was a social worker. But what happens when I bring you 3 people that had no clue what this was the day they met me, just like most of y'all? And they're all successful in it in their own right. So again, Tiffany Walker, Katara Johnson, Angela Brooks, thank y'all so much for using your time, your talent, and your treasure to share with our people your experiences. And most importantly, y'all know that we joke and we have a good time and we play around, but I want to be serious. All three of those women talked about certain things that were very vulnerable to them. They got very personal, and they didn't have to do that. But the fact that they did, it encouraged other people. So thank y'all again, man. I'm not just saying it. I really appreciate that. Thank y'all so much. And what y'all don't know, y'all on the schedule probably for the next one too. So y'all found yourself a job is what I'm saying, basically. Katara, Angela, and Tiffany, congratulations. You just found yourself a speaking gig from here on out probably.
And also, ladies, I do want to do something. And I'm going to publicly announce this. With your permission, Derek, I do want to elevate them even in our private communities and make y'all admins to the communities because you do share a lot of information. So if you
make all three of them admins.
If you see that you have access to post in the main chat now, you'll see that you'll get a notification that says admin now. And you'll be able to kind of toggle between if you want to speak from your own name or report out something anonymously. I'll call you ladies and kind of help you walk through that, but we do want to elevate you all in the communities.
Absolutely, we do. Yeah.
And you'll be able to post even in the main thread, not just the discussion board, but I want you all to be able to kind of, drop things in that main thread as well, because not everybody's in the discussion board. A lot of people are just in the main thread, and some people just don't opt into the discussion board to hear the discussions. So we're doing some things.
Thank y'all so much again. Really appreciate that.
We want to say thank you, ladies, for again just allowing us to pull on you and again, for like Derek said, your vulnerability to share something that was
they share some deep stuff that again, it's not YouTube talking. We won't repeat any of that stuff on YouTube, but that's that family talk, man. It's just nothing that beats that when you're in that community of like-minded people.
He said they deserve that.
Yeah, and I trust them.
We can give them access, and we know they ain't gonna shut down our whole system.
Come on, y'all. Like I trust these people, these women, right? Because Shay and I, God, Shay and I, we built this brand, y'all. And I wouldn't invite Tiffany, Katara, Angela if I didn't trust them. You can't trust people with your brand and this thing God gave you, but I trust the women just like I trust my family, which they are family. And this is why they're going to be given those roles and the ability to pour into you guys just like me. So that's another new feature that's coming next year. These three women will be a part of that, right? I need help from them. I told them 3 and 4 years ago that it will one day come to this. They just literally lived the dream that I spoke over them 4 years ago. Right? And both of them, Qatar probably longer. Qatar's probably the longest. Qatar probably goes 5, Tiffany probably goes 4, Angela's probably 3.5, 4 years under us. But I spoke it over all of them years ago. I said, man, one day we're going to get real busy and we're going to need people like y'all if y'all get good at this. Now, if you don't, throw this message right out the window. But if y'all get good at this, I'm going to need y'all in 2 or 3 or 4 years maybe. Yeah. Tiffany, do you remember that? Katara, do you remember that? Tiffany told me that, and now I would have never guessed this about Tiffany, babe, but Tiffany said that this was her first speaking engagement. I would have thought because of what Tiffany does, because Katara go places and speak, right? Right. But they both said that this was kind of their first speaking engagement, what they considered their first speaking gig. So I appreciate kind of being the first person to be able to give that to you all. Because again, we all kind of want to do things like that, especially if you believe it's in purpose. So I'm only doing what I would love somebody to have done for me 5 years ago. Yeah. Remember that saying in the Bible? It is saying, but the scripture, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Yeah. Why not? And they're great speakers, both of them.
They have a lot of great experience. Right? They have a lot of background. So yeah.
I just can't say that enough, man. Thank y'all so much. And again, wink, wink, wink. Y'all just found yourself a job. Okay. And I'm talking about that speaking part, not the group thing. That's just going to be whenever you got time, you can help. But when we hit the road, you ladies are a part of that now. Yeah. Okay.
And real quick, because I see Nicole said that she did. Was that a yes? You did get access to the replay. Just let me know. I know that the summary documents have not been uploaded yet. That's on me, and they'll be uploaded sometime soon. I'm sending them out to the team on Monday. But Nicole, just do me a favor and confirm. Anybody that was at the the 3-day challenge, just let me know if you have already received access to the replay in your portal.
God, I'm here waiting. I'm not moving.
Don't do that.
That's my new song, y'all. I don't even know the rest of it yet. But anyway.
It's don't be far from me. I'm here waiting on you.
See, I mess it up, y'all. Y'all better let me get on that.
God, I'm not moving. I'm still waiting for you.
Bam. Ladies and gentlemen, I approve that message. Follow her on Apple Music. Get that single that she put out. Qatar, what you thought about that, sis? And not my part, Shay's part. I told y'all Shay is an absolute real songbird, but this is where we're going to get ready to leave y'all at now.
Sandra talking about we can do a duet. No, thank you.
Oh, me? You and Sandra or me?
Talking about you and me.
Oh, Sandra, I just told you, Sandra, she won't let me. When she go to her little studio time, y'all gonna see me sit at the piano, but they don't let me do nothing but just sit at it. So I got tons of pictures of me in the studio, and y'all think I'm in there getting down, but they don't let me touch nothing, y'all.
I'm throwing that video. I'm putting it in there. Just so
y'all asked for that on Friday.
Asked for it on Friday. I'm gonna give it to the IMB family. I want them to be able to do that.
Last two questions, and we gonna get out of here. Shay, go ahead.
Absolutely. So Earl and Jen said, can the purchase of our products and services
be
considered? You better add that to that. Yes, sir.
It's culture.
Ma'am, yes,
it's
sir,
a business
ma'am.
expense.
Yes, it's a business expense. Yes. And we were so we had a meeting yesterday with our accountant to go over some stuff.
We got some good news for a change.
Great news. We put so much into
not for a change, but
we put so much into our over that 18-month span of time, and just trying to educate ourselves, better ourselves. We put a lot into education.
Yeah.
And we were able to get that back.
Yeah.
And that's usually not the case, right? Uncle Sam's usually saying, give me my money. And it ain't a little bit of money. He'd be like, hey, come on, write that check. But yeah, so this year was pretty cool to see that.
Let's make a side note there too, Jess, real quick. Guys, here's some serious coaching. And let's get prepared for this. When I had a job, I got a tax return. I got money back in January. We all get happy about that. When you get into business and you pray God to make all of this money, your goal is to hit even to where you don't owe them and they don't owe you, but you more than likely going to owe them. So already start setting your mind up for that too.
Yeah.
God is blessing us so much, guys. I'm just being honest that tax bill is high, right? And Lynette yesterday started training and coaching us about we need to start putting money back aside now for the 2025 taxes. Why would she advise that? Because she's smart. She's the accountant, and it's what we should be doing so that now you don't get this big bill at the end of the year if you pay quarterly something. That's something that I'll admit, I'm going to just be honest again. I wasn't on that from the beginning.
He wasn't.
I'm just now following suit on that over the last probably 1 or 2 years. But I'm being honest.
Because it hurts at the end.
And now the more you make, the more that actually makes more sense. So guys, don't try to make all that money and keep it. Because remember, at your job, they take them taxes out and you don't even know about it. When you start making all of this money God gonna bless you with, nobody takes a dime from you. You got to set it aside. It's called discipline. Guess who's learning that the hard way now? Your big brother.
Yeah.
But what a blessing to be on the other side of that fence now, though. Okay? Because it's one way that you can look at it. Well, I owe Uncle Sam. Well, you must be doing something right then. Okay. You rather owe Uncle Sam because of all this money you're making, or get your tax return back for $1,000 because you work for 40 grand a year. The devil is a liar. Back on you, Shay, and close us out of here.
So, Nicole, I'll get that sent out. I'm
hungry too, so Shay got to take me to lunch today, y'all. She already told me that she's going to run me around all day today, which I don't want to do, but we got to go to Walmart, which, then the mall, and then something else. And then, but in between that, can 5 of y'all say, hey, Shay, take Derek to lunch today? 5 of y'all say, Shay, take Derek to lunch today.
Yeah, but again, we just appreciate y'all. Thank you for letting us go on our pig trails today. Yeah. Share our stories. The goal of this whole new setup and the goal of this is not just to just talk about the ILF in general, but how do we do it? How do we turn off ILF and turn on husband and wife? How do we, how do we avoid the button of heads? How do we not try to throw each other down?
Yeah, we keep talking about we're going to do that. By the show in the chat, will you guys like a segment like that? And not just only if you're married, but just partnerships in general. Put in the chat, you would like that if we did like that. Couples, how do we work together and don't kill each other or get on each other's nerves all the time, right? How do we do that? Right? Because we're going to explain the dynamic of how I left corporate America first, started the job, and then I like to use the word, we snatched her from corporate America after how many years of me being in it? Ooh. What was it 2 or 3?
3. I think it was 2.
Probably 3 years. We just call it 3. And how do we now all of a sudden start working together when I kind of built this thing and now I bring her into it? If you're real smart guys, the girls and the ladies and the women are usually smarter with the administrative side anyway. So I'm going to say Shay made my business better when she came in because I can be all over the place. But today, because of Shay and my team, y'all think I'm a genius.
And when we do
but these VAs, man, and this system, digital flow solutions that we use, it just keeps everything in line for us.
What we're also going to do is have like other couples join us. We're going to have some of the people that we've kind of just walked with through this whole life of being ILF owners and operators.
Man, they picking on me in the chat. Tiffany trying to encourage me, but Ronna crushing me right now.
Told you from day one.
If I was really trying to be a single, Ronna would be crushing my whole pride right now. Like, bro, that ain't you, Derek. But Ronna, do I know, bro? Now, Ronna, I love the scene, but do I think I can? Not a bit.
Hey man, thank you, Earl and Jan.
That is so funny.
So just look forward to a lot of new segments. We're gonna be fixing up some stuff. We're gonna have some new intro videos. Some days you may join us, and we're just gonna dive in on business. Right? We're gonna talk about how, like, this is us being transparent. We don't want you to just hear about the great days in the ILF. We're going to talk to you about the sorrowful days, the sorrowful times, some of the things that we encounter. How do we navigate business? How do we stay in love and do business together every day?
Got to keep the love in it. Got to do that.
I will say this though, Derek, and I'm not saying this to be funny. I would not have it any other way.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
I agree.
It has taught me a lot as a wife. It has taught me a lot in the transition of headship, right? We all know biblically the man is the head of the household. He's the house band. He bands the home.
The leader.
And what I will say in this is just we've seen God turn our whole dynamic around. And that's something that we'll talk about because a lot of times people don't really know what the dynamic was initially in our marriage.
And let's share that now because Shay told you guys this about 3 weeks ago, right? When we got vulnerable again, but we're now going to change it to a whole segment. And I used to say it all the time because I wanted to prove a point to a lot of men, but it's still crazy because I coach mostly women, right? But Shay, most of our marriage, Shay was the breadwinner. Shay had all of these degrees, so she had great jobs. Shay's got more degrees than a thermometer, y'all. So she used to get really great jobs, and then she climbed what a lot of y'all would call that corporate ladder. Y'all heard my story earlier. I was the social worker that became this, right? But Shay, notice that she still said that I was always still the lead and the leader. The financial part didn't matter, and that takes a lot, especially for some women. Right? Our brown skinned women sometimes, the Latino, it's tough sometimes when they make more money, they'll try to make the guy feel less than. Shay did a great job of never make me feel, and I'll admit, just a part of my makeup, I would have never felt that way. That's just who I am. But if she was crummy, she could have instilled in me that, Derek, you ain't nothing, bro. I make more than you. And the more you say that, if I keep hearing it, no matter how I'm made up, that can tear a guy down. No matter how strong you think you are. Right? Sticks to stones will break your bones, but words, that's a lie. Words can destroy you sometimes, especially coming from the wife's standpoint. So she did a great job. And I hope she spent a lot of time of speaking into women, whether you got a boo thing, a boo or a husband, but how do you speak to the king in that guy? I wasn't the king from day one, essentially, but Shay always spoke to the king inside of me that eventually came out. Make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Back on you, Miss Shay.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to add that. Even if we, kind of do midway point where we kind of just break off into that type of conversation. But I want to encourage ladies. I want to encourage marriages. I want to encourage people that may not always understand what their spouse wants to do or pursue. And how can you position yourself, right? Yeah. To either support it? Because what we don't realize, and I think a lot of women don't take into consideration, is that we have a lot of power. Our husbands are the head, but we're the neck. Yeah, and what does the neck do? It shifts the head. It
controls it all, yeah.
It shifts the head. So if me being the neck, while Derek is the head, I want to make sure that the head is positioned accordingly. Because when the head is positioned accordingly, the whole body functions so well. Have you ever had a tension headache and that pain radiates from the shoulder blades all the way up to the back of the neck? Don't it feel like it crippled your whole body? Derek took me to the hospital for one of them not too long ago. Remember that?
Right after an event that right you ran and spoke at. I was
so stressed out. I couldn't even sleep. It felt like my
Tiffany was there.
Head was about to explode.
I don't know if Tiffany knew it, but Tiffany, did Tiffany know? Did you tell her about that?
I didn't tell anybody. Yeah. I left the hotel that night.
Tiffany was there. Tia Johnson was there.
We checked out of the hotel at about 4:00 in the morning because Derek had to take me to the hospital. Yeah, he had to take me to the hospital. But again, it's just me wanting to share that because I came from a family of strong-willed women. Yeah, your mom will tell you that. Like his mom will tell you the experience she had with my family. I'm an island girl. We can be a little different. And the family makeup was one that, my parents were married until my mom passed. So it wasn't like I came from a broken home. I had, mom, dad in the home, but it didn't look like what the word said it should look like. And I'm just grateful that I've been able to be an example to my family on what it should look like and how to navigate those waters, right? I'm watching, my siblings' relationships, and it's exciting to see how they're honoring one another, how they talk to one another. But I want us to be more mindful of the power that we have as women. And the tongue is powerful. And also we have the power to shift a situation or manipulate one. And it's like, what do you choose to do? So I want to encourage women. I want to encourage couples. If a spouse or a loved one has an idea that you may not understand or have a clue about, you can do one of two things. Yeah. You can feed it water. Yeah. And let the fire die.
Sure, you're actually pointing to somebody right now, that same example. Without saying names or being too whatever, but
you can ignite
you're speaking into someone
so
like
I
that
say,
right now.
You may not understand, but I did the work, right? I didn't understand, but I know business. I have a master's in business administration.
I said, right? Shay, I just saw a girl doing it and she making 41 grand. And that's so all Shay heard me saying. Like,
how do we do it right? How can I support you in doing it right?
Shay was the one that said, Derek, you gonna keep talking about it, or we gonna put pen to paper and put an idea together? Again, that go that neck again, y'all. The neck. The head got the idea. But Shay was saying, how can we move that neck to make it happen? And Shay kind of jacked me up. It was like, bro, like, what you gonna do? Are we gonna just talk about it every day, Derek? Are you gonna bore my life with it? Or are you gonna go grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and let's write some stuff down? He that findeth a wife finds an absolute gem, a good thing. Can two of my guys in the chat just say amen to that, Derek? Even if it's only me and James? Two of my guys put amen to that. Because again, the head got the idea, but what if that neck ain't working? Man, useless. Back on you, Shay.
So again, that's going to be a part of what we're doing. It's not even just about the ILF. I think our goal in this season and what God is really showing us is to pour, not just to pour out from that position of, the ILF, but we want to see marriages won for the kingdom. We want to see couples, even during the difficult times, be able to walk through those things and come out successful. Right? Be an example to other people that look like us in the community. Like our conversations are not mean-hearted, mean-spirited when we talk to each other. And that wasn't something I was used to. Yeah. Right. Conversations in my household, boy, you needed, it was X-rated. You better go.
And see, I didn't come from that.
Yeah.
And trust me, we don't want to get into this now because if we keep talking, we'll be here for 2 hours. But I love where she's going, and I'm going to keep it going. I didn't come from that. Not to say that I was raised by the Brady Bunch, but when Shay saw my family, she called them the Huxtables, or like the Cosby Show.
Let me find out y'all the real life Huxtables. Like,
so
this is food.
We gonna have a dynamic of that, and we're gonna give y'all a taste of it now. Shay again is being vulnerable right now, telling you that her household, the talking was kind of rated R.
It was vulgar.
Like when wife and husband spoke to each other, there was no respect in it. Yeah. Guys, I didn't grow up like that. So Shay and I are going to show you how do we merge together and become a married couple to still filter through what both of us was born in. How do we merge it together? How did I make Shay now see the love of God through family, through business? It wasn't by saying, Shay, we do things like this. I took her around my family. And we got a whole story about how that happened and how Shay began to transform, and then the rest of her family transformed into it. Ooh, that's powerful. That's going to be powerful. And if we keep going, we're going to be here at 3 o'clock today because that can go down. That can go for 2 hours right there.
Let me just say this. I'm going to say this, and we can end it on this note. You have to be mindful how you carry yourself. And be mindful that there's always somebody watching. There's always somebody watching. I had my brother was here with his baby, his girlfriend, and they were here for about a month. And the night before he left, he shared something with me that was it. I drove home and I cried. I called Derek and I was like, oh my God, you can't believe what he said. And it was so powerful, but it just goes to show that people watch. Right? We can walk around talking about how much we love God.
Yeah.
We can walk around and talk about how much we love each other. But does it really play out in public?
Right.
How does it play out in your private life? Whatever plays out in your private life, it shows in public, right? But just know that people are always watching. And even the things that you don't say, and people watch most when you don't even realize they're watching. And those are the moments that are important. Because you're going to end up doing one of two things, inspiring them or deterring them. So you've got to realize that your walk with God doesn't always have to be about toting the Bible and slapping people with scripture. Be scripture, right? We are an extension of the word. Our pastor says this all the time. Big shout out to Pastor Brad and Pastor Rachel Knight. We love y'all. We honor y'all.
Story Life Church.
Thank you for all that you all pour into us. You've got to realize that your life is truly an extension of the Bible. You may be in a Job season. Your Job season is to minister to the 3 knucklehead friends.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Job.
Job has some friends now.
Your Job season may be the season for you to let those 3 knucklehead friends see that God is God no matter what. Right? And even to the wife that said, curse God and die. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Your seasons in life are extensions of the word that has already been written. Moses, David, Daniel, Job, it doesn't matter. You've got to realize that nothing is new under the sun. The word tells us that.
Nothing.
So if the Bible is the thing that we stand on and it's our guide to life, do you not think that you're going to face some of those same situations? But God gave us a blueprint of how not to handle it. We may have seen, like Job's wife said, curse God and die. We just told y'all, we went through an 18-month season. And I had every opportunity, Derek, to tell you to curse God and die.
And give up, basically.
Literally, like let's be real vulnerable for a minute. But let me tell you what I did instead. I got in my car. I went to the park. I cried and I prayed. I was angry. I was upset. And I'm sure you same. And this was nothing that we were doing to each other. It was nothing marriage related.
We're not falling out.
Right. It's not marriage
related. But from every angle.
But we could have used those situations to break the marriage.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what I told Derek and mom, because mom kept reiterating this to me, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. She said, baby, can you imagine if you did not have your husband to walk through this with?
And doing it by yourself.
Woo, Lord Jesus. I would have been in some. Y'all would have had to call up. Y'all would have had to put out an APB on me.
You'd have been in a straight jacket, ain't it, Shay?
You would have had to put out an APB.
And same for me. How dare I go through all this and don't have Shay, the one that in my mind is helping me put all of this together. God, you sent me this good thing, but where you at? That's kind of like we talked about the feeling we had. But again, God was right there the whole time. In fact, probably got closer. We just sometimes that when you're going through stuff, it feels distant.
It does, yeah.
But God is right there, right? And without God, we wouldn't have made it through that.
So this is some of the stuff.
We made it through that to come in to encourage you all now.
Yeah, and when I say we made it through,
we all go through something to come back and to encourage other people. No testimony without the test. I think that's an old t-shirt.
Yeah.
No testimony without the test.
Yeah.
How could you ever tell the goodness and the good news of God if you kind of never go through anything?
Exactly. And it just goes to that again, you know, it's powerful. Like we look at each other every morning and we're like, dang it. Like, do you believe that look at today? Like just look at today. Like it was so funny. We made this, I'm going to share this. The park became a place of sorrow for us.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy. When things shifted, I said, Derek, we can't make this our dark place because it was never that before. We went back to the park when things shifted, and it was like the scales were removed from our eyes. Yeah. The trees were greener. Like it was.
We saw all the peacocks.
The peacocks came back out.
It's the same park that we always go to, y'all. But when we were so down and out,
it was dark.
It was like you put shades on.
It was so strange, and we sat
But remember that last time we went, and everything was so much brighter. The lake was brighter. The water was moving. But y'all, it was probably like that the whole time. We just couldn't see it. We were so down and out.
Great. And when we sat there, I said, Derek, we actually called your mama behind that. We said, Mom, we went to the park. The peacocks looked so blue. Like they're that's why we have so
it's like you went from a 1955 TV that was black and white to the 2025 thin flat screen that we watch today.
So I'm gonna share why
retina display.
Can I tell you something? Can I share why I chose to go with the colors that I did in here? Because of the peacocks.
Okay.
So I love peacocks and it's a beautiful, they're just such an exquisite bird to me. They're beautiful. But yeah, so that's why I chose this color and the golds and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, just be encouraged today. For those of you that are married, those of you that are seeking marriage, those of you that just want to walk in purpose, be encouraged today. Know that you may be the only Bible that somebody ever reads.
That's good.
And that's your story. That's your life. People may connect with you and not understand that thing that you carry, but just be mindful and be reminded that that thing you carry is light.
Yeah.
Right. And just walk in that. Be mindful of that. When you're having a bad day, be mindful of how you carry yourself. Because in that moment where all things are falling down around you, God may say, I need you to go here and preach or prophesy. Will you do it? Will you give him your yes? Because what people don't know is during that 18 months, God put us on assignment every week. We had to walk into rooms and minister, and we did not even understand where we were going to pour from.
Yep. Sometimes you got to pour into the people the very thing that maybe you're missing. But that's grace that God will give you, right?
Ooh,
so during our season, Shay just said it, but I'll repeat it. We were put on assignment to minister and speak into the lives of a lot of different people in different ways that was not my coaching. And me and Shay would be like, man, we just help these families. Like, but boy, we struggling. But we're helping all of these people. Guys, sometime again, your assignment is just to bless other people. And that example that I give about that orange tree is all the time. Like, an orange tree grows oranges for people that are passing by to pick that orange. An orange tree don't eat oranges. It's for other people. Your blessing that you carrying, that gift that you have, this coaching I do, it ain't for me. It's for other people. That apple tree is for the people that are passing by to pick an apple. Apple trees don't eat apples. It's for other people. Yeah. So remember, guys, even when you're going through it, ask God to still show you your purpose. Does that make sense, everybody? God, I know I'm going through it, but can you show me my purpose of what I'm still supposed to be doing? And let not what I'm going through override my purpose and smother it out like a fire. Make sense? I'm going to let Shay close y'all out with one more word. I'm going to pray you guys out of here and we gone. Yeah. We almost did 3 hours today. In fact, I think we were shutting down 30 minutes ago and we kept going. That was necessary. Somebody needed it. And you also can kind of hear where we're going now with some of these newer topics that we will talk about. I'll talk about ILFs to the day I die. But some of this newer stuff, this just good content. We're going to do a lot more of this stuff. Make sense, everybody? You guys enjoy this setting? Let us know in the chat, 5 of you all. You guys like this setting in terms of what it looks like, what we're talking about? Because still all week long, my team is putting out content of us still coaching and teaching. So make sure you're following us on Derek Forston, Facebook and Instagram, and Forston Consultants everywhere. And again, we'll see you back here Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Shay, bless the people. We're going to pray them out of here.
Again, family, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for allowing us to share what God has so graciously allowed us to walk through. And we're excited to see you walk through some amazing things and be that testimony, be that story that really transforms and changes the lives of those that God puts in your path to do so. So again, I look forward to seeing you all on Monday. Those of y'all that will be in the South Florida area, I look forward to seeing you
May
all
28th.
in the flesh in person on Wednesday. And like I said, God bless, Godspeed, and may God's grace and mercy continue to abound upon your life. And just do amazing things. Just be encouraged today. Derek?
All right. Well, guys, thank y'all so much again for being a part of our live podcast today. Don't forget to join us on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Without any further ado, Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown today. Thank you for the ability to give again what you gave Shay and I. God, me and Shay take no credit. You are God and God alone, and we thank you for that. God, thank you for moving through our housing model, the ILF Mastery Blueprint. Thank you for allowing Shay and I to be like the owners of it and create it. But Father God, what's more important, to give these people the mind of Christ and an able body to do what you've called them to do. And God, as I always say, let no devil in hell stop it. Today, God, you'll give them resources. Today, God, you'll give them finances. Today, God, you'll give them relationship with social workers, case managers, and social service providers. God, make the way easy for these people. Make them rich and add no sorrow. God, I've been through all the mistakes and the lawsuits so that these people don't have to. So God, again, will you make the hilly roads smooth? Will you make the rough waters calm? And God, send all of these people the right relationships, but also God, remove the people that are not supposed to be a part of their life or this new vision that you've given them. Yes. And again, God, give us an able body and the mind of Christ to do what you've called them to do. And Father God, again, before they ever get the first set of keys to the house, we'll give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise right now, because God, this is your program. And thank you for allowing these people to be an overseer over it. And again, God, we say thank you. We say thank you. We say thank you. Thank you. God, release every resource that these people need to make it happen. God, these are your people. This is your ministry. And God, we're doing the things that you have called us to do. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. Amen. Amen. If you guys believe that, say amen. You guys have a great Saturday, and we'll see you all Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. God bless. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying this information. But just in case if you was wondering, how could you get more one-on-one coaching just like this? First of all, you can ask just by typing it in the chat, or you can visit forstonconsultants.com/IMB. Again, the IMB stands for ILF Mastery Blueprint. So again, if you want one-on-one coaching, let us know. This is exactly what we do. And again, don't spend all your time in this room today without asking questions. As you see, we're giving out a lot of great information. So make sure you ask your questions just to make sure that you fully understand it. And then also don't forget, we give you guys a free strategy call. So we want you to watch our webinar. That's it. Also at forsterconsultants.com/webinars, but also soak up a lot of this information that we're giving you guys on YouTube, and then schedule a free strategy call so that we can get on the phone to talk about how fast can we get you started. Let's get back to the show.